The thoughts, views, and opinions expressed by this podcast, as well as its hosts, are for entertainment purposes only. I repeat, it is not serious. It is not real. No one is exposing, revealing, indicting, or telling you anything about themselves. Also, we do not encourage you to try this at home. We are trained professionals who do not have your best interests at heart, or our own. Enjoy the show.
Only you know what that song is off of that.
I know, off the rip.
Michael Jackson?
You're sitting reading the thing.
I did not look it. I did not.
You never put an album out. Stop.
Never put an album out.
She was right about that one little Sade thing and just ran with the music.
That is
tape.
a very distinct
What?
song opening.
Oh, what it is.
Is it? Check your phone.
Fuck out of here. All right, let's see. Let me see. All right. Everybody good? Last looks, levels, water, anything anybody needs.
Where I'm at, this is me here?
Yes,
That's
sir.
you. You need headphones?
Headphones, so you go.
I think I'm all right.
All right.
Yeah, I fixed this though. Nah, this one right here. Nah, but and you can pull the mic back in.
Pulling back some.
No, that one right there, Parks. Turn the thing by your thumb.
There we go. I'm straight right there.
There we go. Great.
All right.
This one right here.
Everybody else, y'all shit is good.
It'll slide it back a little bit. Don't you want to slide it back to the right a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, turn that. There you go.
All right.
All right.
It's just made up for helping Alexis Texas with her shit. Yeah, I wasn't gonna reach across a man to help him with it.
Are we live?
We are.
All right. Ladies and fucking gentlemen, y'all know what time it is. You've asked for this man for years. And it took me years to muster up the courage to send the DM and try to get it done. But I did. And we have a very special guest here today. I'm honored to have him here. Thank you for taking the time. We have none other than Dr. Umar in the fucking building.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
In the fucking flesh.
Glad to be here.
And you got shit going on. You're in my hood tomorrow, Montclair, right?
Yes, sir.
I saw the whole calendar.
Yes, sir.
Busy. I was pocket watching.
Yes, sir.
A lot of money.
You going to
Well,
the
not
Lackawanna
so
spot?
much. A lot of my community events I do them from the heart. So Montclair is from the heart.
Everything on the calendar is from the heart?
Not everything from the heart, but not everything is free.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. And I'll say this and then we can move, but I know the first time we kicked it about some shit, and then we kicked it again, and inflation is going on out there.
Yes, sir.
So I want to
Very
say
real.
congratulations, goddammit. Now, where do we begin? I didn't know that. What's off limits?
He said nothing.
Nothing really.
What's
if
off
it's
limits?
off limits, I'll just say I'll pass on
Great,
that. But
because this is a friendly space.
yeah,
We don't do all the
I
extra
normally-
salacious shit.
Yeah, I don't do questions ahead of time or nothing like that.
I didn't know that you had Roland Martin beef.
Neither did I. What happened was I was on Roland Martin's show about 2 or 3 times before that final visit that led to the altercation, verbal altercation, not physical. It was 2016. I had just done the Breakfast Club a week prior, and Roland Martin's people contacted me to come back again. This was either my 3rd or 4th visit to News One Now. So I had been on the show before. We already knew each other. Never had a negative.
Cordial.
Always.
Got it.
This time was different because when I got there, as I waited in the dressing room, he came out the restroom and he didn't speak. He walked right by me. So Sutton says, something's up today. Today gonna be a little different because why would he walk by you and not speak? So when we finally got involved in the conversation, I kind of realized what was going on. I think he was a little jealous of the Breakfast Club fame. That interview went viral. All of them go viral, but that one went viral. And at that time, I guess he wanted to take some of the air out of my ballooned. So he questioned my credentials, my blood relationship to the Honorable Frederick Douglass, a couple other things. And I think he has set up his panel in such a way that I think they were supposed to intellectually massacre me, which nobody on the planet Earth can do that.
They was gonna get you.
And so they ended up getting intellectually massacred, and that was the end of it. But I didn't appreciate what he did. I thought it was a bitch move. I've been on your show plenty of times. You know, I'm driving down here from Philadelphia, taking time out of my busy schedule. I could be doing other things, and you use that time to try to insult me. But it backfired on him, and I think that's partly the reason why his show was canceled by the end of the year, because I'm very popular among black folks. I'm probably the most popular black scholar in modern history when it comes to mainstream black America, even though my views are considered rather controversial. And so when Roland Martin did that, I don't think he properly anticipated or calculated the collateral damage. But by the end of the year, he was off the television.
Can I ask you? You think you're running into that a lot when you're doing these interviews? People trying to stump you or find a way to find a kink in your
They do.
armor?
They do. I welcome it. It's a double-edged sword, because on the one hand, I have a lot of confidence in my intellectual ability. You know, so that's why I don't ask people what you're going to ask me. I don't do none of that. Just throw it. If I don't like it, I'll ignore it. So on the one hand, you kind of need that to keep you on your feet. You know, it's like a boxer. You know, if your competition ain't good, there's no need to get in the ring. So a part of it I welcome. It's only when they go too far. I thought Roland went a little bit too far, because some of the questions he asked, he could have got them answers himself. I didn't have to come to the show for you to ask me that. You know, so I think he deliberately was trying to, insult me, which it didn't work. You know, once in a while you get them interviews, you never know what you're going to get. But, you know, I take the good with the bad. You know, I can hang with anybody, so I'm good.
Mel, Roland Martin is your friend. He sent the book up here.
Yeah.
You kind of have to ride.
This is the first I'm hearing of this the story,
and I don't expect nobody else to have a beef with him, because I do.
Yeah,
and to be honest with you, that was what, 8 years ago.
Yeah,
kind of, you know, water under the bridge to some extent. You know, I'm not saying that he and I could never have another conversation. You know, but that black male ego is something that we as black men have to deal with, because I think it's led to a lot of people leaving this world too soon. I think it's led to a lot of very authentic collaborations taking place. It's gotten a lot of our black leaders assassinated. Okay, Malcolm X to some degree was assassinated over ego. Dr. King to some degree was assassinated because there was people who wanted to sit in that seat. You know, if I go over to the mother continent, the Honorable Patrice Lumumba of the Congo, he was assassinated over somebody's ego. You know, so the ego has played a very pivotal role in the downfall of black men in this country. Whether you're talking in the hood or whether you're talking the civil rights and black power struggle, you know, we've always had an ego issue. And that ego issue comes from the fact that we have been so emasculated in American society. The black man is the only man who no one feels comfortable when he flexes his intellectual or political strength. We're always considered a threat. When we speak honestly, we're always considered militant. Even if we never mention a gun or a bullet, we're militant. You know, but if the European Jew speaks, if the Arab speaks, if the Latino speaks, if the East Indian speaks, if the Anglo-Saxon speaks, it's not militant. But if the black man says the same thing in defense of his community, all of a sudden it's militant, you see. And so because we have not been allowed to be men freely in the open sense, whenever we have issues with each other, that pain, that trauma, that rage, that anger manifests itself. And that's why you have the black on black homicide and fratricide epidemic you have today, because we're angry and we're frustrated, but our young people are not properly educated as to why they're in the condition they're in, so they take it out on each other.
I didn't think you would say black on black.
Say that again.
I didn't think I would hear you say black on black.
Why not?
Why?
Because what is black on black? Why is it not just crime?
Because unfortunately, the reason why for example, some would say most people are murdered by people of the same ethnicity, right? Most Jews are murdered by Jews. Most Arabs are murdered by Arabs. So why do we have to highlight black on black?
That's my question.
Exactly. The reason I highlight it is because black men in America are the leading cause of death for one another. And although white men are most likely to kill white men, and Chinese are most likely to kill Chinese, none of those other men have each other as their leading cause of death. We have each other as our leading cause of death, and that's why I highlight black on black.
Got it. That makes sense.
1,000%.
When would you say, because I just want some background, I don't recall the year I was introduced to you, but it feels like there was a time where your name got hot. When was that time for you?
Well, to go back, just to give the journey, if you would.
Yeah.
Okay, in 3rd grade, we were living in North Carolina. My father was a drill instructor for the United States Marine Corps. It was in the 3rd grade at the age of 8 and 9 that I decided I wanted to be a psychologist because I didn't have an older brother. So I said I want to be the older brother that other children can talk to when they grow up. So when my parents divorced, we get back to North Philadelphia. I was born and raised. I'm from the same neighborhood as Bill Cosby. Okay, actually, Meek Mill used to live across the street from us. He didn't know me because I'm older than him, but he was close friends with my younger brother, 18th and Berks. He lived right across the street. So anyhow, when we get back to North Philadelphia, the elementary school I attended, we had a Black history class. Now, Black history wasn't mandatory in the school district of Philadelphia, although Philadelphia later became the first school district to require Black history in public school. It wasn't at that time. It just so happened I went to a school where the white principal and the black vice principal decided to give us Black history. And so that was my introduction into Black consciousness. I'm 9 years old. Okay. That same year, there was a public speaking contest. I entered the public speaking contest. I won 1st place 4th grade, 1st place 5th grade, and I never shut up since. So Black consciousness and public speaking for me came together at the same time in elementary school. Coincidentally, 4 blocks away from Meade Elementary School is the international headquarters of the Universal Negro Improvement Association. This is the Marcus Garvey movement.
Wait, say that again.
Universal Negro Improvement Association.
Got it.
So this is the largest black organization in modern history. From this organization came Malcolm X. Malcolm's mother and father were officers in Garvey's UNIA. Elijah Poole, who became Elijah Muhammad, was a member of Garvey's UNIA in Detroit and Chicago. And we could go on and on and on.
Got it.
Okay, so anyhow, after I graduate from Meade, I go to Bieber in West Philly. That's Will Smith neighborhood. Then I'm off to Chambersburg for high school.
Is mom around?
Yes, I'm living with my mother.
Okay.
Right. And of course, they divorced, so split custody, right? But my father's there.
Your father still played a part, though.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So when I come out of Scotland School, and by the way, Chambersburg, even though it's a white city, this is the city where Martin Delaney, grandfather of Pan-Africanism, was raised. So I actually grew up in the same city as one of the grandfathers of Pan-Africanism. He's the one who came up with the phrase Africa for the Africans. Marcus Garvey would take that 50 years later and add to it Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. Martin Delaney is the first black person to be admitted into Harvard Medical School.
Okay.
But they kicked him out because the white students protested. They said, we're not going to go to school with him, so they had to kick him out. So had he never been kicked out, W.E.B. Du Bois would have never became the first black with a PhD from Harvard. It would have been Delaney, who was also the first uniformed officer in the Civil War black. And by the way, they put his picture during the Super Bowl last year. Last year's Super Bowl, they highlighted Martin Delaney's photo during the promo of the Super Bowl, which to me was just a message that the white power structure is going to try to co-opt Pan-Africanism, which we never going to let them do. They've already tried to co-opt the red, black, and green flag so many times. Pepsi tried to co-opt it. McDonald's tried to co-opt it. Ever so often, they've already co-opted the Jamaican, not the Jamaican flag, the Ethiopian flag. They want to co-opt the RBG, but you can't take the RBG because if you're not African, you cannot wear that flag. You understand? That's for African people only. You see, that comes from Garvey, New York City, 1920. That's where that flag comes from. That's ours. So anyhow, I graduate from high school. I go to Millersville University. Mind you, my mother bought my tennis shoes from the Jewish-owned sneaker store right next door to the Garvey movement my whole childhood. So my whole childhood...
You wearing skips.
Exactly, next door to the Garvey house. But I never know it's the house of Garvey until I graduate from undergrad. I'm walking by, they painted it red, black, and green. I said, whoa, picture Marcus Garvey in the window. So the elder comes around the corner. I said, yo, what y'all doing in here? He said, this is the UNIA. He said, come back Sunday. So I came back Sunday. This is 1996, 1997. And I never left 20 years later.
So how old are you?
How old are you in 96, 97?
You're about 48.
Yeah.
You might. 96.
So I'm Garvey to the bone.
That still don't tell me when you got hot.
Let me continue. No, I'm glad you said that. So I'm in the Garvey house, right? 96, 97. I go back to Millersville to get my first master's. I'm a certified school psychologist. That means I evaluate children for special education. Autism, reading disability, math disability, emotional disturbance, intellectual disability. I participate in evaluation for deaf kids, blind kids, brain injured kids, orthopedically impaired kids, multiply disabled children. That's what I do.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
This schooling is all free?
No, sir.
No.
Student loans.
Okay.
Part of it was free. When I go back to Millersville, I did have a grad assistantship. I was assistant dorm director. They paid for my classes. My undergrad wasn't free. I got some scholarships, but I didn't have a full ride. Right? So when I come out of
money somewhere.
Oh, well, student loans and scholarships. Combination.
Okay.
So when I come out of Millersville, I come back to Philly because I have to do my internship to get my certification. I'm interning in the same schools I was raised in. During this time, I reconnect with the UNIA. I become Minister of Education and first Vice President of the Philadelphia Division until 2005. 2005, I go to Africa for the first time. Ethiopia, South Africa, Nigeria, and Senegal. I come back. There were some issues within the UNIA, so I resigned as Minister of Education. That's 2005. I finished my pre-doctoral internship in 2009. My doctorate is clinical psychology. So I'm clinical psych and school psych. 2010, I get invited to Chicago.
This guy
Brother
has been in
Dawa.
school for all of this time.
Well,
Different degrees, different.
Yeah.
Well, I come home at 25 with my first master's. I get my second master's, Lehigh University in principalship. My third master's and my doctorate, Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine. But I'm doing that while I'm simultaneously working as a school psychologist and pushing the Garvey program through the UNIA.
During any of this time, do you have a girlfriend? What are you
I have
doing
2 daughters.
socially?
I have 2 daughters, 21 and 12. I've never been married, though.
Got it. All right.
Do you communicate with any Marcus Garvey children?
Dr. Julius Garvey and I have shared the stage several times. The first time I met him was in 2005, the same year I went to Africa. Or it might have been 2004, the year before I went to Africa. Because it was actually the program with Dr. Julius Garvey that led to me going to Africa.
Got it.
Because I facilitated it. It was at the African American Museum in Philly. It's Julius Garvey and I, right? I remember because he told me I reminded him of Malcolm. And I said, why don't I remind you of your father? He said, I was still young when my father was here, so I can't really compare you to Garvey, but you remind me of Malcolm. That's what Dr. Julius Garvey said. I was also with him in Jamaica together. We was in Birmingham, England together. We was also, we've been a few places together.
Got it.
Okay. So anyhow, yes. And Dr. Julius Marcus Garvey Jr. used to be president general of the UNIA. So he ran his father's organization, but he just joined the ancestors about 2 years ago.
Yeah, I know the other son, the one that is a doctor.
The surgeon, Julius. That's Dr. Julius.
In Long Island.
Yeah, the older brother passed
away. Got it, yes.
Yeah.
So you're in 2010. I don't want you to lose that.
2010, I get an invitation by a Hebrew brother, Dawa Yisrael. Rest in peace to him. He just passed away last year. Nobody told me until after the funeral. I'm upset about that. He calls me up. I used to write articles for the newspapers. He calls me up. He said, I'm reading this article about the school to prison pipeline. I would love to interview you on my public access TV station in Chicago, but I can't afford to get you up here. But if you can get up here, I want you on my public access TV show. So I fly to Chicago. I'll never forget. It was a rainy night. I was sick. I was coughing. I put the heat on hell. Stayed at the hotel. He picked me up the next day. We go. We do the interview. It's called Psychoacademic Holocaust School to Prison Pipeline. September 18th, 2010. The reason that date is significant is that's the same day Booker T. Washington gave his Atlanta Cotton Exposition speech in Atlanta that blew him up. Okay? He's also a Pan-Africanist. So anyhow, remember, Garvey came to America to meet with Booker T. because Booker T was also pushing the Pan-African program. Anyhow, I do the interview with Dawa. I did a million interviews before, so it was no big deal to me. But it was Chicago, second largest black metropolis, right? He has the DVD. I said, Dawa, can I get that DVD? Because I got Harlem in 6 weeks. He said, I can't give you this one. I'm going to make a copy and send you one later. No problem. Before we leave, he said, I'm going to go ahead and give it to you. I can make another one later. If he never gives me that DVD, September 18th, 2010, we might not be here now. So he gives me the DVD. I go to Harlem. October 30th, 2010, I speak at the National Black Theater, 125th and 5th, right? Title of the lecture was Post-Traumatic Slavery Disease Part 4, Miseducation of the 21st Century Negro. I have copies of the Chicago interview. I'm giving them out. I also have copies of my previous lectures that I did at the African American Museum in Philadelphia when me and Julius Garvey had the exoneration program for his father, right? So I'm giving out these DVDs in New York. I don't think nothing of it. Just another lecture. I've been doing this forever, but only in Philly mostly. Nobody knew me outside of Pennsylvania.
That was my question. So you've done this hand to hand
home. Yeah.
But this is my first time out
Yes, sir.
somewhere else.
Yes, sir.
Chicago,
with it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Now, through the UNIA, I did speak in New York before, but it was to a limited audience for the Garvey movement, and it was at the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, the same Ethiopian Orthodox Church that was a part of the Garvey movement when he ran his headquarters in New York. I also spoke in Atlanta for the Garvey movement, but I also spoke at North Carolina Central with Dr. Runoko Rashidi and Tony Martin. Tony Martin just passed away, he's Garvey historian. So that was my first major event, but those was through the UNIA. But my first out of Philly event that was not attached to the Garvey movement would have been that Chicago interview in the Harlem lecture. I lie to you not. After I did that Harlem lecture, bro, up until October 30th, 2010, only area codes on my phone was 215-267-610 Philly numbers. After I left Harlem that night, October 30th, 2010, my life changed. I started getting calls from all over the planet. Then the invitations came. We want you in London. We want you in Paris. We want you in South Africa. We want you in Ghana. We want you in Canada. We want you here. We want you there. So then I had to make a decision because I was getting invitations. Mind you, I'm a school psychologist, so I got schools whose children I evaluate for a living, and it was good money. So I said, you got to make a decision. You either got to cut off this traveling and speaking, which you love to do, right, for this money, or you scale back on your contracts with these schools to be their school psychologists so you can travel and push the good gospel of Garveyism. And I chose to cut back on the schools so I could travel and raise the consciousness
How
about
difficult
people.
is that decision? Because you love both.
It was hard. I'm still a school psychologist, but at the level I was at, you understand?
And in 2010, right, like you walking away from great coin to something that
Yes, sir.
that
I walked
is
away from great
not
money.
so
Great money.
tangible.
To a question mark.
Right, but it didn't matter because it was my purpose, though. You see, so I knew that I was born to fight for my people. So it was never contradiction for me. So the money, the degrees, none of that has ever mattered, nor does it matter to me now. That's why I can stay focused on what I need to do.
If you're able to look into the future, too, that's around the time where YouTube was really starting to get
Right, and I'm not even knowing that, but you're correct.
When I first got familiar with you,
yeah.
was through YouTube. And this was probably about 10 years ago. Of people really just taking clips and posting them. So if you're able to look into the future and the trajectory, all the eyes was going to be on him instantly once he got in that zone.
When I first heard
It came together like the perfect storm.
When I first heard of Dr. Umar, though, there were some unsavory. They were saying some shit. It
Like
wasn't
what?
all.
Like what?
I think the first things probably we heard
You're a
that
scammer.
were
They
were using the
donations.
FDMG Academy.
Yeah,
as-
let's get to it.
Well, let me get FDMG.
They was on your
Let me
ass.
get FDMG.
That
So
was
we
the
still on the
first one.
timeline.
Yeah, they was on his ass.
Let's stay with the timeline. So 2010, I blow up, right? And when I blow up, So there's people who was already established in the conscious community. I'm not gonna call no names, but everybody felt they had their niche, right? I'm the history niche. I'm the spiritual niche. I'm the economic niche. I'm the political niche. I'm the education niche. I'm the mental health niche.
You gonna come
But when King Kong consciousness came through, I blew up all the fucking niches. I'm here now. I'm the fuck here now. Philly running this shit. You understand?
King Kong consciousness. Yes.
Philly running this shit now, right? So
there's ego even in the conscious.
you damn right.
Why?
Yo,
I'm gonna tell you,
Y'all
why.
are, come on.
The same reason why there's ego in the church.
True.
Nobody opens a church to help people. They open churches to build up their narcissistic egos and create a financial opportunity for themselves.
Yo, if you
That's
a
why you
YouTube
don't see
head-
no churches involved in none of the major problems that we got. Conscious community ain't no different. Half the people in the conscious community came to the conscious community to use it as a leapfrog into politics, a leapfrog into entertainment, a leapfrog into some new coochie. You understand? A leapfrog into popularity. They not in this to fight.
You're using your consciousness to get
No,
new
that's
pussy
why I
is
said
crazy.
Why you don't think
the red
Oh my
pill
God.
community, the red
Kidding?
pill community on YouTube is probably some of the most drama-filled, controversial shit. If you really start looking down the paths of some of the
tea.
beats, it's mad tea.
Super
It's
tea.
mad shit over there.
Super tea.
Everybody not in there for the right.
You know what the
Right.
earth
Don't get me wrong, you got real people. Don't get me wrong, especially the elders. I'm bigging them up. James Small, Leonard Jeffries, Ajwa Kwesi, Marimba Ani, Queen Afua. You see what I'm saying? I'm a big up the elders, but amongst our generation, our age and younger, It's mostly opportunism. And I say that on one thing. I'm the most requested black scholar in the world. All 7 continents, nobody close. I'm building 2 schools in Wilmington, Delaware. We started without a penny.
Oh, that's the other one.
You understand? We started without a penny. If I can travel the world and do what I do, evaluate kids, help parents save their children, and I can find time to build 2 institutions, where y'all's at? Ain't nobody else doing shit but talking shit. We need institutions. 50% of the solution is institution. School to teach the people. Bank to invest in the people. Hospital, save the people. Supermarket to feed the people. If you ain't talking schools, banks, hospitals, supermarkets, manufacturing, distribution, you're not serious about solving the black community's problems. Talk is good. Institutions are better. Activism or institutions. So you say, I don't build institutions. I fight for my people. No problem. So that means you fighting miseducation. That means you fighting mass incarceration. That means you fighting police extermination. That means you fighting gentrification, or you fighting economic apartheid. Those are 5 major problems. So build one of these 5 institutions or fight one of these 5 major problems. Most of them ain't doing either.
Okay, so they was trying to discredit you when I first heard you.
Well, let me bring you to FDMG.
Yeah, can we address what?
Let me
Sorry,
go
yeah,
to it.
yeah.
So 2010, I blow up, right? So from 2010 to 2014, I'm doing what I do. I'm traveling the world. I'm kicking in doors. I'm breaking records. I'm doing me.
Single?
Single-handedly.
No, as a single man?
Yeah, I mean, I had my lady friends through the times.
I got it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I've never been married. Now, there was women.
You keep saying that part.
There were women. Let me go back. Since you brought up the romantic aspect of that, which is relevant, right? Because the FBI and CIA often infiltrates our best leaders through their bedmates. You understand? Huey P. Newton slept with an informant. Afeni Shakur slept with an informant. Dr. King slept with informants. You understand? Marion Barry slept with informants.
Oh, come on!
Stay with me. Stay with me.
Oh, you're going crazy.
You see, so when I blew up, right, I said, damn, I should have married one of them. Because there was a couple sisters I dated who were wifey material. You understand? Sabrina, Tamala, Wendy, Andrea, Kim.
Shout them out.
Them 5. Any one of them could have been the wife. You feel me? So when I blew up, I said, because I'm not going to meet nobody real now. You see what I'm saying?
It's over here.
Because even though I'm not no millionaire, because of the credentials and the public presence, they assume you are, the notoriety. And they thirsty for that. So I said, damn, should I have wife one of my lady friends from the past? But then again, I said, they were great women. They would have been great wives, no doubt. But I don't even know if they could have handled the transition from Pennsylvania, Umar, to the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Because that was a hell of a transition. It caught me by surprise. You feel me? One day, you just go from being a psychologist working 40 hours a week to traveling 7 continents and picking up 1 million frequent flyer miles like that. 3, 4, 5 passports later, you see. So, but if I could do it over, I think I would have married one because I think it would have led to a lot less drama on the relationship side of things. I would have had more stability.
And I'm listening to you. You ain't. How do you know if they're ready for that unless you don't? Unless you try. No, I agree. No. But see, here's the thing. I got no warning from the universe that this was coming. On September 18th and October 30th, your life going to change. I didn't get no warning. If I had a warning, I would have prepared for that. So anyhow, 2014 come. My brother Dante, he lives in Virginia. Shout out to Dante and Dawn. They say, Dr. Umar, there's an HBCU for sale. St. Paul's College, Lawrenceville, Virginia. Built by Father Russell. Father Russell was a friend to Booker T. Dr. George Washington Carver used to go to St. Paul's College to visit and help. So anyway, they wanted $2 million for a 118-acre HBCU. I said, we got to get this. They got the football field, the gym, the dorms, the church, the calf. $2 million for a whole HBCU. We tried to raise the money, couldn't raise the money. The Chinese bought it. So we let Chinese buy an HBCU. That's an insult to every African walking this planet. 2014. Chinese got it around 16.
$2 million whole dollars.
$2 million for the whole campus. We couldn't get nobody to flip that for us. So then I said, okay, we just gonna look for a regular day school. So I'm still looking. Meantime, that's when the accusation that I was stealing the money, fraud and the money popped. But let me tell you why that popped though. It popped because in 2015, 1 year after we started raising the money in 2015, I cut out all the middlemen in the conscious community because they was pimping me on these lectures, bringing me in, not paying me sufficiently, making all this money off the tickets.
For sure.
And what really pissed me off wasn't the money. You know the real reason why I cut all the opportunists out?
Why?
People came there to hear Dr. Umar, but you got him on the mic, you got him on the mic. This is a fucking hater. You got him on my mic. They didn't come to hear these niggas. They came to hear me.
Doc,
Stay with me.
openers.
Stay with me. And then when I get on the mic, they telling me, Flip, you got only 30 minutes.
You got
to talk."
time.
Time.
Oh, yeah, they can't play
The
with that.
event was 6 to 9. 6 to 9, 6 to 10. I'm the headliner. I got 30 minutes of my own shit. I'm out. So in 2015, I cut them out. When I cut them out, they got upset.
Blackball,
So they
yeah.
said, how do we get him back? Say he's scamming the money. Now, mind you, we just got audited by the IRS last year. By the way, we passed the audit. So if I'm a scammer, prove it. You understand that? Ain't no scammer here. My shit's real. And they'll see when the school open. That's why I don't pay it no mind, because we almost done now. So when the school open, all them who said that, show and prove your allegation.
That's the main one that they got with you is the school.
Well, the real issue with the school ain't the school. It's the fact that I'm doing the school. In other words, right, going back to the ego thing, which I'm not into, but if you're going to hate, I'm going to beat my chest.
That's the problem. You don't got no problem beating your chest.
I ain't got no problem beating my chest, but I only beat my chest when they hate, though, because I'm humble.
Because I've seen you. Some people might call in and they might have a discrepancy with a donation. No, motherfucker, you can't get your donation back. Like I've seen.
No. Nobody, no. Stay with me. No, I hear what you're saying.
Okay.
Nobody who has ever donated who has called into a radio show and asked for their money back. Those was haters. See, the people who you hear hating, they're not donors. I need you to understand. The haters don't donate. So your question would be, why do you care if you ain't got no financial equity in this? You didn't donate no money. Because I want to make them look bad, so I'm going to act like I'm a donor. They not no damn donors. Just like you had people saying, we wanted to help them fix up the school. We was ready to come in as the plumbers, the electricians, the agents.
Heard that too.
We never had a single person show up at that school, licensed in Delaware, licensed in Wilmington, to do HVAC, plumbing, or electric repairs. Nobody the whole time, but they'll get on the internet and say that they did. So you got to separate the propaganda from the truth. But the real issue with FDMG is once I get it up, it's a wrap on who the King Kong consciousness is. I'm already that. But once I get that school coming from nothing, first school in American history built exclusively with donations from Africans from every continent on earth. Not even Garvey did that. We'll be the first ones to do it ever.
And
that's what they hating for.
And that was one of the best memes. Donation. Donation.
I don't know if you want, but I wanted to ask. We had a conversation here a minute ago, and I kind of feel like, well, first off, FDMG is going to be exclusively for black children. Correct?
Legally, you cannot say that,
okay.
because in the state of Delaware, you
right.
cannot discriminate based on race.
We had a conversation up here a minute ago, and we talked about, it was a debate, how destructive or how helpful was Dr. King's contributions to Black America, right?
It wasn't destructive at all.
Okay.
Dr. King gets a bad rap.
Okay.
And although Dr. King was not a Pan-Africanist, I'm an ardent Dr. King supporter because he's misunderstood and he's often blamed for the mistakes of contemporary blacks that he had nothing to do with. Dr. King did not lead a fight for integration. He led a fight for access to opportunity and resources. Okay. Let me give you an example. We are isolated in this room. We need food, we need clothing, shelter, we need jobs. I say, you go to that school, learn how to do what they do so you can come back and teach us. Gotcha. Flip, you go get involved in that so you can learn, you come back and you teach us. Joe, go over there, get them resources, bring it back. That's what Dr. King was about. He didn't say, all y'all leave the black hospital, leave the black school, leave the black community, give up all our independent black businesses and go dissolve yourself in a sea full of white folks. He never said that. Dr. King never fought for integration. He fought for access to opportunity and resources. And what we do, because we don't like to take responsibility for our behavior, not you and I, but collectively black consciousness, right? We'll say Dr. King should have never integrated us. If he would have kept us separate, we won't have all these problems. Well, guess what? Dr. King was assassinated on April 4th, 1968. He was already 6 feet deep when desegregation came. Dr. King wasn't around to witness none of that. The deseg came in the 70s. He was gone. Who made black doctors give up the black hospitals and go work for the white ones? Who made the black community give up the independent black communities and go move into the white suburb? Who made us give up our independent black schools and send our kids to white public schools? Nobody made us do that. The U.S. government didn't make you do that. We voluntarily did it because we in love with white folks.
Let me ask you a question. A little bit of pushback. Dr. King was, I'm making up my own moniker. the father of the civil rights movement, or the leader of the civil rights movement.
He was the face,
right, of the civil rights movement, and that's one of the criticisms, is that civil rights, or us being civil, wanting to eat at a white man's table when they feeding us at the back door, wanting us to go sit in Woolworth and let them pour hot coffee on you and spray ketchup in your face and hit you with eggs. All of that shit was the pandering to whites.
Let me clarify for you.
You know what I'm saying?
The sit-in movement wasn't led by Dr. King.
I mean, no, but it was the movement in itself, and the civil rights.
The Freedom Riders wasn't led by
Exactly.
Dr. King. You understand? You're talking SNCC, you're talking CORE.
Gotcha.
You see what I'm saying? You're talking other organizations.
Gotcha.
He didn't head those movements. But I support what they did. Why? Because if you had to go to the bathroom, you with your queen, and y'all got to pull over on the highway, and she got to use the restroom, and the only one is that cracker-ass gas station, you understand me? She should be able to safely go in there and use it. Again, access, not integration. They were fighting for access. They were not fighting for integration. Those college students who began the sit-in movement in Greensboro did so because when they wanted to go off campus and get something to eat, you understand, they wanted to be able to go and get a burger. It wasn't about amalgamating into the white reality. It was about making sure we had access to the services that we needed, because at that time, we didn't have the economic power we got now. Stay with me, stay with me. We didn't have the economic power that we got now. So I understood it in its proper context. Here's my question. If that is your criticism of that day, here's my counter argument to you. We are 30 billion people today. 30 billion, excuse me, 2 trillion. We spend $30 billion on hair, $2 billion on Jordans, $4 billion on liquor, 800 million on chicken, turkey, beef, and pork. So if that's your argument, what the hell's stopping us from doing it now?
I stand in that.
But you see what I'm saying? What's stopping us from doing it now?
I stand in that. So
we can't go back 55 years and say Dr. King trapped us, because you're free to do it now.
True.
And we choose not to.
And we won't.
Because most black people don't have a problem with oppression. Where our issue is the position white power has given us in the hierarchy of oppression.
Well,
so we go in there acting like we want to fight for change, but the minute we get a better job or better position, we no longer fight, and we join the power structure,
1,000%.
aka Al Sharpton, aka
But can
Jesse Jackson.
I ask you this? Do you think that there was some level of regret on his approach, especially, given his last speech before his assassination, and him saying to some degree, "I've led you down. I probably led you guys down a wrong path." Do you think that there was some level of regret on his approach? And maybe
Every
he would have
leader
wished
is going to have some level of regret.
Okay.
I'm going to have it. Garvey had it. King had it. We're going to have it. But let me give you this piece, because I think this will be going. After Malcolm is assassinated, February 21st, 1965, Dr. King goes to Jamaica to visit the Garveyites. He goes to the land of Marcus Garvey. He visits the grave. He credits Garvey as being one of the greatest of all time. He comes back, he starts speaking like Malcolm.
Yes, indeed.
Dr. King wasn't assassinated for integration.
Nope. He was
Dr. King
assassinated
was
because he
assassinated
started
for economic revolution.
Yes.
Right. Why did they kill Dr. King in Memphis? Dr. King had to die in Memphis because the next week, where was he headed? Washington, D.C. to lead what? Breadbasket campaign. He was taking poor Americans to the nation's capital, and no one was going to leave until everybody had a house and a job. It was economic revolution. He would have embarrassed the American government, and that's why he died. He died for economic revolution, not civil rights.
He started this,
but they only give you civil rights king.
And
they never give you economic revolution.
They give you the
king.
turn your cheek king,
Absolutely.
as opposed to the one that started.
Show me a speech where Dr. King said we shouldn't have our own communities. Show me a speech where Dr. King said we shouldn't have our own schools. Show me a speech where Dr. King ever said Black America shouldn't have its own independent infrastructure. He never said that. We put that on him because we don't want to take responsibility for the fact that we the ones who broke his dream and turned it into a nightmare, not him.
So you with segregation?
No, I'm with independence, and I'm going to give you the difference. Black people are already segregated. Why do I need to push segregation? Our children go to schools that are at least 85% all black. Why do I need to push segregation? In the ghetto, prior to gentrification, that is, and even if you look at the new ghettos they're creating as a result of gentrification, our people are normally 85% of where they live at. Black people are already segregated. The only reason why you interact with white folks is because you don't have your own institutions and resources. You got to deal with white folks because you need their job, their hospital, their housing, their public transportation. We need what they have. That's the only reason why we interact with white folks. If we had our own, there would be no interaction. So for me, it's futile and useless to push segregation until there's independence. Independence, Joe, means your own institutions. So when I talk to brothers and sisters who say, Dr. Umar, we need to separate, give black people something to separate too. It's useless to talk about separation if you ain't got no damn schools, no jobs, no homes, no food. Separate and go where if you ain't got nothing for them? If you create that independent Black Wall Street that we used to have back in the days of Garvey, black people will voluntarily give up on the white power structure, but we ain't got nothing for our people.
But doesn't
Let me ask you a question.
Wait, hold up. But doesn't that contradict?
It contradicts it. Yes.
Earlier, you said that there are so many blacks that are just dying for the acceptance of white people and to sit at that white table.
Absolutely.
Doesn't that contradict that?
Does what contradict that?
If we had our own independent institutions where we go to our bank, to our and get our food or whatever,
sir.
What is stopping 40% of black people from alienating that and going to wherever the white people are? Because they're dying for that acceptance.
Because the issue is mindset, brother.
Yeah.
Most of us don't have an independent mindset. Most black people do not wake up thinking about what can I do to make my people free. If we want to participate.
But if we had our own shit, Doc, what's to say that would just instill that mindset?
Let me make sure I understand you. Are you saying if we had our own, wouldn't black people who are thirsty for white validation still leave and join? Is that the question?
Yes.
Of course they would, which is why you got to have a civil war in black America, not physical combat, but social and intellectually. You got to have a civil war in black America to separate those who are in love with the white reality from those who want their own. So it's not a contradiction. What we're saying is there's two different mindsets in black America. The do for self, that's me. I want my own. And the integrationist who just wants to hanker after white society.
So let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. I'm a fan, right? I'm a huge fan.
Supporter. Celebrities have fans. I'm a freedom fighter.
I'm a fan.
You're a supporter. You're not a fan.
So listen to this.
When I leave here, I go and fight.
Why is it
that's my man.
One side, why is it one side where you're saying, yo, I'm a do for selfer?
Yes, sir.
Then the other side is, yo, y'all on white people dick. Why is it not?
No, both are true. I'm a do for selfer, and we need to get off white people dick.
True. I agree with that.
They're both true.
No, what I'm saying is, why is it one or the other?
Because you have diversity in mindset.
Why is there not?
We are not a utopia.
I know. Why is there no middle ground? It's either you're one.
There is
or
no
you're
middle
other.
ground. Is there such thing as being half alive? Is there such thing as being half pregnant?
No.
Is there such thing as being half free?
No.
So what the hell we talking about a middle ground for? Go to a revolutionary and talk about a middle ground. Ain't no middle ground for revolution. You win or you die.
So
no middle.
Let me
freedom or death.
Let me ask you a question. When you start talking about, I could have relationships with white people. I love Parks.
Yes.
Right? That don't mean I'm on his dick.
I agree with that.
That don't mean
but
that.
you said on their dick. Not
no.
Okay,
I'm saying
okay,
you said
okay.
your word was hanker, I think.
Yes, hanker after white folks.
Hanker after white folks. Mm-hmm. So it's either
Hanker's funny.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. Mm-hmm. Mine was being on a dick. Mm-hmm. So I think that there's a middle ground. I think that you could also be separatist.
Okay.
Or you could be.
I don't like separatism.
But you're not speaking. He's not speaking separate.
I'm not speaking separatist.
Go ahead.
Your stance was, yo, black. 100%. Independence. Or hanker to white people. Mm-hmm. There was no middle ground where.
There is no middle.
See, I disagree.
There is no middle.
That's
Let me clarify too.
With.
This might not change where you are, but I want to make sure we clarify. Mm-hmm. When I'm talking about independence, I'm talking about political, economic independence. I could care less what your social arrangement is. Let me see what I'm talking about. You go hang out with white folks. That's your business. You understand what I'm saying?
1,000%.
You go scuba dive with white folks. That's your business. I could care less about what you do socially.
Gotcha.
I'm talking about political and economic independence so we can leverage our power.
So we can have the same equity that they have.
Absolutely. I'm not trying to control people's social life outside of the Snow Bunny crisis. Because if you're chasing after white women, we got a damn
all right, well, that's what I was going to lead to.
What's the Snow White?
Wait.
Let's get it.
Because wait.
Hold on.
He's been on record of saying that is a level of political structure within the family household. If you go ahead and you give your allegiance to a white woman, or as a black woman, a white man.
Is that what he's calling the Snow Bunny crisis?
That's the Snow Bunny crisis. A crisis of black men, able-bodied, well-placed, economically secure, well-educated black men who are choosing to marry outside of the black community as opposed to stick to their sisters, only 1 out of 4 of which will ever get married in their lifetime. It is a crisis, which is giving our children an absence of good black male-female heterosexual relationships that they can pattern themselves after.
Dr. Umar, before we even go there, because that opens up such a huge door. Open
it up,
We
baby.
could talk about
Open the door for Dr. Umar.
We could talk about the whole Jonathan. We could talk about the whole Jonathan Majors verdict, which I'm sure you have a lot.
We're getting to that.
Yes, we're getting to that. Sure. But what I wanted to ask you is kind of like going back to what you said. You were talking about a civil war.
Yes.
What does that look like? Because it's not a physical one you're talking about, but what does that look like?
And who are the winners in that war?
Well, that depends on where you believe. Because if you're an integrationist and you believe coexistence with white folks is the way to go, in your mind, you're a winner.
True.
You understand?
True.
But see, I understand that white people don't share power. Because historically, you cannot point to any period in the history of humanity where white people have shared power with black people on equitable terms. If you're going to coexist with Caucasians, you're going to coexist as a second-class citizen.
So you don't believe in white allyship?
What is a white ally? Give me your definition.
For example,
Turn it up.
I just watched this TED Talks on this white preacher from Jacksonville, and it was called Black Murder is Normal.
Yes, ma'am.
And he went, and basically the whole talk was just about how normalized it is to discuss black murder. You know, and the statistic that you used earlier about black men being the #1 cause of death
for themselves.
Exactly. He used that same statistic. And what he was saying to the audience was he was basically saying, he was just like, hemming and hawing and giving sympathy is not nearly enough. We need to be proactive, and he was calling out his contemporaries, you know, that they need to be proactive in the fight in trying to stop, you know, just the high crime.
White people should be proactive.
Yes.
So if black on black fratricide protects and maintains the status quo and guarantees the perpetuation of white privilege, why in the hell would any Caucasian stop it?
That's true. And it guarantees their power remains where
Absolutely.
it is.
Why would they stop it?
It don't even make sense for them to try to help it.
Absolutely.
That's why I found the TED Talk so interesting, because when I saw the title, I automatically assumed that it was going to be, you know, a black scholar standing up there at the podium talking about this. So I was really surprised to see that it was a white man standing up there talking about black murder is normal, and mindset, you know, collective mindset wise, it needs to stop being looked at that way. It needs to be start being looked at as like a catastrophe as it relates to a society. You know, he talked about how one woman asked like a police officer, you know, you haven't found my daughter's killer, whatever the case is, but how did you treat her body? When you found her body laying there, did you just like throw her in the bag and then throw her in the back of the, you know, the ambulance or the coroner's van? Or did you treat her body with care? How did you treat her? And I thought that was a really, really profound question to even be asked, that I don't think that anybody of another race would even like conceptualize. But that is just like one of the things in terms of the normalization of black crime and black murder that we in ourselves, like we feel these things. We want to know these things because we have acknowledged to a certain extent it is normal.
Here's one of the reasons why I have little patience for the white liberal. White liberals have the same agenda as white conservatives. The methods are different. White liberals like to make black people think they actually care when they don't, because getting you to drop your guard allows them to fulfill their agenda a whole lot quicker, as opposed to the white conservative who's going to tell you exactly how he feels, aka Donald Trump in the Republican Party versus Joe Biden in the Democratic Party. If you look at what Trump did for black America, and if you look at what Biden did for black America, neither one of them did anything. The only difference is Biden makes you think I'm going to bring you some sort of a solution, and Trump lets you know to your face, I could care less about you. I'm trying to make America great again for white folks.
Let me ask you a question.
Hold up.
Do you think it's a different?
Because my brain got to keep up with. There's a lot going on here. I don't really speak in too much liberal and conservative.
Okay.
I can say with 100% fact that I've met white people that care about me.
Okay.
Me too.
Based on your assessment and analysis of that interaction. But I'm going to give you the rules of racism. And I challenge those of you who know good white people to prove your position, because history does not co-sign it. Number one, all white people are racist. And I'm going to explain what I mean by this. That's rule number one. If you don't get the first rule, the rest of the rules don't make no sense. Let me explain what I mean when I say all white people are racist. All white people are racist does not mean all white people are bigots. Stay with me. A bigot is someone who hates you because you're black. A bigot is someone who believes y'all need to be exterminated, that you're racially inferior, that you're nothing but drug addicts and drug users. That is a bigot. They have an emotional attachment to the destruction of the black community. A racist does not have to hate black people. A racist does not have to work to eliminate us as a population. A racist does not have to push false narratives or stereotypes about who we are. Do you know what a racist is interested in? Control of resources, opportunities, and privileges. That's it. To be a racist means I like the unfair advantage my people have over blacks, and I'm not going to do a damn thing about changing it or making it even. Now, if you know of a white person that's ever walked this earth that has tried to eliminate their white privilege or the unfair advantage that their people have against us, give me a name.
Jane Elliott would be one. So
You're absolutely wrong. Jane Elliott talks about it. She's a rhetorician. I said, what has she done?
Jane Elliott is my little short white girl?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got them.
No, you're wrong. You're absolutely wrong. No.
With the glasses?
You didn't hear what I said.
Wait.
You didn't hear what I said.
Isn't she an anthropologist
Listen,
or something?
you didn't hear what I said.
Okay for him.
You didn't hear what you missed the whole point. Let me clarify.
I want to hear.
And no disrespect to Jane Elliott, because I appreciate the fact she exposes the contradiction of white hypocrisy. But what I said was, name a white person who has done something to destroy the white privilege. She talks about it. Words are not actions.
Let me answer you.
How would you destroy
But isn't
it?
that advocacy?
Let me answer you now. In trying to educate the people and change the mindset of the people, that is action.
No, that's not good enough.
Let me finish, please.
Go ahead.
Because now, if I can try to change your mind, that is an action. That is an action. You give stop. It's my goal. You give speeches every day. In your speeches, you are trying to change the mindset of the black people to advance them.
Yes, and if you listen to my speeches, I make it very clear that do not add my words as actions toward black liberation. The words are the preparation. They do not count as actions. What is Jane Elliott doing amongst white people to destroy white privilege?
She can't.
I think
what you mean she can't?
She can
try
to change their mindset.
No, bro. There are policies, there are laws, there are agendas and institutions in place to turn black people into a permanent underclass. Let me get real specific with you. What is Jane Elliott or Tim Wise or any other white liberal you want to name doing about miseducation, mass incarceration, police genocide, access to wealth?
That's not fair.
It's very fair.
You're saying
y'all said she's doing something about eliminating white privilege.
I want to answer your
so
question.
I quantified it and said, what is she doing specifically to address any of the major five problems?
Outside of speaking.
Outside of speaking.
Let me ask you this.
Nothing.
Let me ask you a question.
White folks don't fight against black privilege. Never.
We don't know what she's doing.
Listen to this. Let's say hypothetically.
And why don't you? Because you know what she's saying. Why you don't know what she doing?
But that's the action to me. I disagree with what you're saying.
I disagree.
Words are not actions.
And
if you go reach, I was just reading about the black guy that infiltrated the Ku Klux Klan and was able to turn however many people out of the Ku Klux Klan.
My God.
That's look, you hate it. You hate it.
Get that bullshit out.
That's conscious hate.
Get that bullshit out.
That's
You hear this bullshit?
You can't do that. You can't do that. That's conscious hate. If Jane Elliott go talk to 5,000 white people and can convert 500 of them into saying.
Let's go back to the black guy who infiltrated the Klan. The example you just mentioned.
I had a great example.
Hold on.
No. Yeah,
he led X amount of people out the Klan, right?
Yes.
My question to you, what the hell did that do for white privilege?
Nothing.
Thank you. It's irrelevant.
What?
It's a superficial change.
It's cool, though.
Yo.
It's a superficial change.
Listen to this.
We talk about structures, systems, and institutions. Structures, systems, and institutions. There's a system that take our boys from preschool to prison. There's a system that take us from school to poverty and drug dealing. There's a system of mass incarceration. What are they doing to destroy any of these systems that maintain black oppression?
Back in the day, hold on.
Listen to this, right?
You said back in the day.
I think that
I'll fry you up. I'll fry you up. You my man. Stop. Back in the day, you saw them. You saw Karen and them. You saw the people that was marching with Martin Luther King getting hit in the head with the rocks. The white Karens and the white men that was marching with them getting hit in the head with rocks with Dr. King.
Okay.
They were on the front line. That's action.
I can name you white folks who died. Michael Swerner.
Yeah.
And others who.
No disrespect.
Right?
No disrespect. No disrespect.
No disrespect.
The names are irrelevant. Their actions matter.
Stay with me. They died because that was action. Those was individuals who decided to make an action.
I got you.
But here's where I need y'all to understand,
You just
even in
contradicted
that,
yourself, though.
that was not eliminating white privilege. Stay with me.
They can't single-handedly
Listen,
eliminate it.
They attempted
Do
to
you
do
know why
something.
most of them died?
Why?
To help black people get the right to vote. My question to you, to help white people
Get the right
help
to
black
vote for
people
what?
Get the right to vote. To help black
To
people
vote-
get the
vote for
right
who?
to vote for who?
For vote for
Thank
who?
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Listen,
Who would have benefited from us voting? White people.
That's short term.
What are you talking about short term? We still elected.
Hold on, can I
white
go
folks.
ahead, go ahead.
This is a conversation.
Go ahead.
You can't just dominate the whole conversation.
I'm not dominating the
So
conversation.
in those,
Get that nigga in. Fuck that.
stop. In those people dying, that's an action that they took to help eliminate white privilege. Stop.
That did not
Stop.
eliminate
It's
white
my go.
privilege.
It did not.
Voting does not.
I'm
voting
not
eliminates
saying.
white.
Bro.
I'm asking you a question. Ish.
No.
Does voting eliminate
No.
white privilege?
No.
So why is the act they made so important to you towards describing that it did?
Because the voting is a preliminary step to try and attempt to elect officials that have the best interest of black people
Really?
at heart.
Ish, can I make
Okay,
an argument? Can I make an argument?
What the fuck are we
Could I
talking
also
about?
make an argument that voting, the process is put in place just to keep their system
Thank
in
you,
place?
sir.
Yes.
No, wait, hold on.
Well said.
Hold on.
You need to become a Pan-Africanist.
Yes.
Well said.
Stop. Yes. Especially on a broader scale. But when you start trying to change the infrastructure in some of these smaller minority towns, voting becomes integral because we got to put the proper black people in place to do shit to help us. Stop, my nigga. You talking about helping
Nobody
us
said
from
that.
the inside out, and when you start voting for, if it's something as small as the Board of Education Director, that Board of Education Director might have a different initiative or a different agenda than this Board of Education Director. So when we voting for him or her that has our best interest at heart, those small wins matter.
May I respond?
Go ahead.
May I respond? The very reason that the Democratic Party is absolutely useless to black folks
They don't change shit.
is because,
They don't change a fucking
they
thing.
finance and control every black elected official
1,000%.
who runs for office.
1,000%. I know some of them.
Why do you think there has not been a change when it comes to police
I'm not a
brutality?
party guy.
I understand.
I'm not a party guy.
But why do you think there has not been a change when it comes to the school system?
I could tell you.
Because the two largest unions in America are teachers and police.
I
They
agree.
run the whole thing.
I agree.
You don't become a governor in America without the police and the teachers.
True.
You don't become a president in America without police and the teachers.
without unions.
My point is
True.
the political and economic power
Mm-hmm.
of white stakeholders within the system maintains white privilege,
Indeed.
whether black people vote or not.
I'm 1,000% in agreement with you, but what I'm telling you is I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
Right? But that is a process that you can't, I don't even want to bring up this, but
Bring it up.
we've been kids, you my age. So we didn't know what the fuck this was. But when we turned on our TV at 10 years old, we saw people throwing rocks at tanks.
Okay.
We didn't know what the fuck that was at 10 years
Gotcha.
old. Right? You know what I'm talking about, where I'm going. I don't want to bring
got
it up.
you. I got you.
So I think that change can't be made from outside. I think change has to be conducted from the inside.
Okay,
out, right?
okay.
So unless you are able to get inside, let's take, I didn't vote for Trump.
Okay.
Right? I didn't vote for Trump because my thought was my daughters could never be on Trump's cabinet. I don't like Biden, right? But it's more inclusivity in the Democratic regime.
That's
than
not
the-
true.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
man. I ain't even get my sentence out. How you gonna tell me it ain't true?
He
First of all,
understood where you were going.
Stop.
Yeah,
Yo,
listen,
listen what I'm saying.
Finish. But let's be real. We're all cutting each other off. So let's.
I barely
Go
spoke.
ahead.
The
All right, but go ahead.
inclusivity that allows for certain people to sit at the table, that matters. Whether it's one motherfucker, because again, it's not going to be overnight. We not
In
going
other
to
words,
get overnight.
tokenism is a help.
No, I disagree
That's
with you. I don't
tokenism.
call it tokenism.
What-
Yeah, listen. It could be a token. It could be. It don't have to be, but it could be. Hold up. It could be a token, right? But those tokens.
Kamala Harris in the vice presidency, that helps us?
No.
Okay.
No,
You just said people
talking,
at the table.
I'm talking about from a smaller level.
Okay, let's
I
go
think
to
we
the
got to make
smaller
change from the ground up.
I
I don't
agree
think
with
change
that.
could be made in the White House. I think change could be made on a smaller political levels in some of these urban cities.
Yes, you do start there.
You start there.
But guess what?
And then they make changes throughout the state. And then once you get to a state level, you can make changes on the
Ish,
on the
Why
Ish,
we
can
don't
I-
see that manifesting if what you say is true?
because all black people vote for Democrats every fucking
It's
day.
not only that, it's
Stop.
because every black person
I'm
running
answer.
is financed by white folks and they control the outcome. Continue.
Now, economically, we stand on the backs of whites.
Can I just show an example of why I hear what you're saying? There's also a side of
I'm opposed to that.
There's also a side on the liberal side where I can go ahead and see how they're now trying to remove us from even being the important party that they need to get their vote.
True.
Absolutely.
With the immigration laws being changed, they're trying to replace us with Mexico. Like, I don't want to say
the
certain
migrant
things.
crisis.
Yeah,
the
like,
migrant crisis is a black political purge.
I can show you examples of how they trying to even eliminate us. The difference with the difference with the conservative party is they're letting us know flat out. This is it.
Flat out.
We ain't fuck with.
Honesty is the best policy.
I'm just telling you, that's what it is. And a lot of the black people who have been converting from blue to red have been converting simply off of that. I like my racism on a platter so I can know how to deal with it, how to move forward with it.
Agreed.
I don't want it to be hidden behind the guise of we're gonna help you with this and this and that, and you never do. Oh, we're gonna give you a couple of different politicians to represent you, but they're only put in place to do what you said they're doing. They're only being tokens out of
Absolutely.
And now when we don't have majority of your vote, what we're gonna end up doing is just never mind you. We're just gonna replace you with some Mexicans.
Bingo.
That's how I feel.
Bingo.
That's
why the Afghanis are here, the Ukrainians
That's
are
not
here.
a Democratic thing. That is a Republican thing. They out here kissing these Spanish people asses too.
I think it's a political
I beg your
thing.
pardon? Joe Biden is the one who won't shut the borders down, not Donald Trump. That's Democrat.
Yeah.
No, you talking about on a national level. Again, I'm talking about on a smaller
But you
level.
gotta deal
I
with
live
both.
in
I
North
agree.
New Jersey. They sucking these Spanish people dick every fucking day for their votes.
Yes.
Every day they
And you know
sucking
why?
their dick
Because
because the
they're
Spanish
organized.
people are swayed.
And they're
the Spanish
organized.
people could be Democrat, they could be Republican. So the people who vote we know we don't have, we gonna kiss their ass to earn it. Black people don't make Democrats earn their votes. That's the problem. And when you start talking about Democrats and Republicans, my nigga left wing, right wing, it's the same fucking
Absolutely.
bird. They play golf together every fucking day.
That's what we saying.
Absolutely.
So my nigga, don't say it's a Republican versus Democratic thing. It's the same fucking rich white
we
people.
said the tactics look different.
They are
The
pushing
The tactic is
tactics
different.
look
My nigga, it
different.
don't
The goal
matter.
is the same. I started with that.
Look, dog, listen to this. If classism is the thing, because we keep making it a race thing, and you run the
It
race
is not
thing.
class, it is race.
Listen, a white
It is not class, it is
Listen,
race.
Are they related?
yes,
No.
Are they related?
No,
more
they're
than
not.
we think. More than, a rich
I'ma say no.
black
No.
person do not have the best interests
Wait.
of black people in mind.
That is not
The same
necessarily
way
true.
most poor, the same
Johnny
way,
Cochran did, and he was wealthy.
You name one.
I want him to
Dr.
Right,
expound
but
on
my
that.
point is, don't go off on the class argument. You know why? Because the weakness of the class argument is if every black person got a PhD and $250,000 a year job, a lot of the problems we suffer from in terms of racism would disappear. They would not. Listen to me.
Some
I
would.
evaluate children.
Some would.
Stay with me. I evaluate children in some of the most expensive public schools in the country.
Gotcha.
You understand me? The mother is a doctor, the father's a lawyer. Guess what? They still get special educated. They still get medicated just as quickly as a boy in the ghetto whose mother is on public assistance living in public housing. There is no difference. If you're black, you're black. Race burns class in every argument.
Let me ask you a question.
We need racial power, not class transformation.
Let me ask you a question.
That's a distraction and a deception.
Let me ask you a question. Majority of the United States is what?
What?
70% white? Do have the percentages change over the last
Yeah,
couple
they
years?
losing, they dropping.
They dropping fast too. They scared.
Yeah, and the Latinos are
That's why they tripping.
in terms of numbers.
They tripping for a bunch
and
of
that's why they
reasons.
recruiting Asians to be probationary whites
they
so
are.
they can use them to help
The
keep us in
same,
our
the
place.
same thing that they did with the Italians and the
Yes,
Irish.
yes.
They are.
I've never heard of that
heard of that
before.
before.
I've heard white adjacent, but I've never heard
Yeah, Asians are
probationary
the
white.
probationary whites.
Yes.
They hate
Wow.
black people just as much as white people.
He's right.
Economically, they're just as comfortable, and politically, they're just as conservative.
He's right.
Why do you think they gave them the anti-Asian hate bill? The anti-Asian
true.
hate bill was a flower to the Asian community to come in and join the white
Yeah, we
power
got your
structure
back.
and help us
like
keep these Negroes in their
that.
place.
He's
got
right.
tricks.
He's right.
They
Listen
got
to
the
this though.
tricks.
So listen to this though. We gonna say 65%.
Okay.
That's a fair
Sure.
number.
Okay.
To run
Yes, sir.
this. Okay. So if 65% of the population is white, then why is only 1% of them wealthy?
Because you're not accounting for capitalism.
Yeah, that's his
We
favorite
just
line,
discussed
too.
racism. That's a capitalism issue. What do we know about capitalism? In order for capitalism to thrive, there has to be a large, freely exploitable population of poor white folks. There is no capitalism without poor white folks. And now, guess what?
Ha!
But guess what? No,
Which-
not ha. That reinforces the race. That reinforces the racism. You want to know why? Because for the poor white person, the only advantage they have over you is their skin color.
Their
Exactly.
motherfucking skin.
And that's why the government has to make sure black people are kept in their place. Because unlike black folks, poor whites will tear this country to shit if they ever lose their white privilege.
Listen to this. You right. I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing with you.
We seen a little bit of it.
I'm agreeing with
We
him.
seen on the
Every-
camera.
What they did.
Listen.
We saw the
No.
on
Everything
January
you
6th.
That wasn't
Yes.
all whites. That wasn't poor whites.
That was
Well, it was
that
a
was
poor
a
white
lot of
kid.
disenfranchised white people.
Black
Yes,
person
it
got the
was.
worst-
But you're right.
So
But
you
you're
know
right.
that? A
But you're
black
right.
person got the
Majority.
worst prison
But you're right.
sentence.
Wasn't
It was a
poor
mix.
whites.
You're right.
That was not poor whites. A lot of
It's a mix.
motherfuckers was from Millburn, New Jersey, Short
But
Hills,
you
New
have poor
Jersey.
whites there
A lot
too,
of
though.
motherfuckers
Working
got money.
class,
Poor
poor.
whites
There was
there.
hundreds
Working
of thousands
class
of
and
people
poor.
there. There was
I
a lot
saw
of poor
I saw
white.
Dirty Jean vest there too.
Yeah.
There was
I know,
no
and it-
millionaires climbing the Capitol
No.
wall.
Yeah.
Working
Not-
class
not
here.
a
Working
one.
class in America is poor.
Not a one.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so
Listen to what I'm
Yes.
saying. My point
The
is,
working
my point
poor.
is this. I think this is my personal opinion.
Yes, sir.
I think that we push the divide because divide and
What's
conquer,
the divide?
the racial divide. Even though there is one existing. Listen to what I'm saying. I think that my point and Fred Hampton's point,
Okay.
right, was poor whites got more in common with us than they got with
And I
rich whites.
completely disagree.
the skin color alone
I completely
is the
disagree.
separate. And I'm not
I
against you.
completely
I'm
disagree.
trying to see both sides, and I understand the side that you're saying, but the
It's
part
a
that he's speaking
vital
to,
thing.
the part that he's speaking
That's a
to
white
is
privilege that we
you're
don't never have.
But that is an advantage.
A
that
huge
is,
one. I'm not
And it's
saying
one
it's not.
they will never ever give
relinquish.
up.
I would never.
Can I give you an example? Let me give you a parallel.
We wouldn't either.
DJ Khaled is Palestinian. Eminem is Caucasian. They are both participants in hip hop culture, right? Talk black, act black, music black, dress black, the whole nine. I promise you, if the police pull them the fuck over, the first thing they're gonna let them know is they are not you. They will never give that privilege up. And one of the issues I have with the fact that we let non-Africans participate in our culture so much, they can do so as a hobby because whenever they want to take off their nigger suit, they can put their white privilege suit right back on and pick up the privileges they had before they made the rap album. Eminem has all the privileges of a white male and the privileges of being in the hip hop community. So we got to be careful about
true.
letting non-Africans
disagreeing
come
with
into our community, benefit or participate in our culture when they get to leave at the end of the night. Jane Elliott can leave
I
at
don't
the
like-
end of the night.
let me ask you-
You
I don't
black
like that.
forever. You can
I
never
don't
take
like
your
that.
Let me ask you a question.
costume
Let me ask you a
off.
question.
You don't think Eminem is
Hold on,
one of the best
Joe.
rappers of all time?
According to who?
You.
Rap fans.
Let me say something to you. And this is going to my African fundamentalism. No non-African can ever be the best of anything African. It is an insult to the ancestors, it is an insult to the race, and it is an insult to every black person. Do you think I could go to Palestine and be the best anything of Palestinian culture? You never see that. You think I could go to Israel and be the best of anything in Israel, whether it be a cook, an instrumentalist, a dancer? Hell no. And we have to stop
Yeah, but I disagree
naming
with that.
non-African people, Joe.
But I disagree.
Stay with me though. Let me finish this. We got to stop naming non-African people as being the best of any aspect of our cultural products.
Joe, I think you
because
can.
it is an insult.
And we gotta
can.
stop
It is an
inviting.
insult.
We can acknowledge that the talent is the.
Yes, I can acknowledge Eminem's title.
We should. He's.
But let me tell you.
Go ahead.
For you to
what I
put him
think.
at the top,
Let me
that's,
ask you this.
that's white supremacy,
Let me
bro.
tell you
gotta-
this.
That's white supremacy.
What's white culture?
I don't see Eminem building no
So-
schools and hospitals.
We gotta
I don't
stop
see
inviting
DJ
people to the
Khaled
cookout.
building no schools
You
and
know what I'm saying?
hospitals.
What's the white
I don't see DJ Vlad building no damn bets in supermarkets.
Yo, I'm asking.
Hell no.
Doc, let me ask you a question.
Ain't no non-African can be the best anything in my race. Just like I can't be in theirs, and that's the way it should be.
But wait,
Let me ask you a question. What's white culture?
You tell me.
I'm asking.
You tell me.
I don't know.
I want to know.
I
I'm an
promise you,
expert in
I
black
just-
culture.
I
What is
don't-
white culture?
I don't
You
know.
just asked me, and I told you capitalism.
What'd they make?
That was my
Cameron?
answer.
It was capitalism before we ever even came to America. What's
Tell
white
me,
culture?
they adopted that culture.
I'm asking, what is white culture?
You tell me.
I don't have anything.
Squash.
That's not even theirs.
What?
That's
What
not
else?
even theirs.
Ask them.
Yo, if
Tuna
any-
casserole. What else? Come on. They say apple pie is theirs too now.
Raisins and the potatoes. Yo, listen. If there was something that was classified or put on to whites as white culture, like that was their thing. Baseball,
Baseball, football, apple pie, shit like
I
that.
refuse to believe. I don't think that, but go ahead.
whatever. I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
of
whatever, just
I'm
something-
trying-
That's
I'm
American
trying to
culture.
think of something.
American.
Hypothetical anything, yeah.
Come to the premise. Come to the
I'm
premise.
trying to think of anything. I couldn't think of something. I thought
I got you.
as the
I got
room
you.
might have came
I
up with
got you.
something. If we start doing it,
Genocide. That's white culture. Go ahead. Come on.
Well,
You asked for something.
beat 'em in
White
that.
people invented
Look,
genocide.
we can't beat them in that.
Wholesale extermination of an entire group of
That's
people.
not
That's
true.
uniquely
But
Caucasian.
that's not true.
that's true too.
Oh, it is?
not true.
Oh, it's not? Who invented genocide?
Nobody. Humans.
Oh yeah, brother. Hey Tanner.
I'm telling you. But anyway,
Clip it up.
genocide was going on way before America.
Really?
Absolutely.
Name me a genocide before the Caucasian touched the African continent.
We were killing each other.
That's not genocide. Do you know what genocide is?
Why?
It's the wholesale extermination of an entire species, an entire ethnic group, an entire people. We have never done that.
We had
African people never participated in genocide.
We had tribal.
We had one.
Tribal war is not genocide. War is as old as humanity. I said genocide.
Rwanda is a sign of genocide. I would disagree with that. Rwanda and what we see took place there.
You're wrong. You're right, but you're wrong.
Okay.
You're right that Rwanda was genocide. Where you're wrong, good brother, you're missing the point that the Rwandan genocide was instigated by.
Okay, you're right. All right.
It was. He's correct. That's right.
Single board.
I ain't agree with that.
To clarify. When the Caucasians colonized Rwanda, they took one ethnic group and put them in charge. They oppressed the others.
Yes.
When colonization was over, they knew that when we leave, those who were oppressed
we started
are going
a
to
beef.
fight like hell.
Started a beef. Yes,
exactly.
We started a beef.
So that was white.
It's no different than the
that was
Crip and
white
Blood beef.
engineered.
It's no
that
different
wasn't
than
an organic genocide. White folks played both sides of that. And
you're
President Bill Clinton, your first black president,
did nothing for
Don't
it.
point to me. I wasn't down with that. I was not down with that saxophone.
Would not send the troops. Wouldn't do anything.
Responsible for the Rwanda genocide because he did nothing about it. He wanted them to wipe him out.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
It ain't no different than what's going on now.
Absolutely.
What I'm saying is this: when you start talking about, again, my views be a little broader than some. I just think that whether it was a tribal thing, like it's two tribes. So I think that, let's say the white people are one tribe versus another tribe. I think everything is based on greed. I think everything is based on superiority and trying to maintain that level.
Based on greed and superiority.
It's not supposed to be, and it don't have to be. But I think
there is no capitalism without exploitation. Exploitation is the heart and soul of capitalism.
And we're living in a hyper-capitalized capitalist
Don't ride
society
against
right now.
this. Don't ride against this.
No, it's not. That's not the premise behind it.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not, but it's okay.
Watch yourself, Missy.
I think that's how it's implemented today. But what I'm saying is this, and that's been since the beginning of time.
Gotcha.
Mansa Musa was the richest black man to ever grace the
And
face
he
of the
was
earth.
not a capitalist.
You out your fucking
He
mind.
was not a capitalist.
Yes, he
Mansa Musa
was.
was a capitalist.
Yes.
He exploited poor black labor.
Dr. Umar,
Prove
yes.
it to me. Prove it to me.
Yes.
Prove it to me.
I can't right now. Yes, you are wrong.
I can prove
you are
real simple.
wrong. You are wrong. He was a huge capitalist.
You're absolutely
Maybe the
wrong.
biggest
you
ever.
are absolutely wrong.
You are incorrect.
I would like to hear
Capitalism
both
is not
sides.
an indigenous African economic system, and it did not exist at the time of Mansa
Greed
Musa.
existed prior to Mansa Musa ever gracing the face of the earth.
Greed and capitalism
And y'all
are not
just
the
said-
same thing.
You are correct.
Greed and capitalism are not the same
You are
thing.
correct.
You said capitalism. Mansa Musa was not a capitalist,
Huge.
and capitalism did not exist
correct.
in Africa at that time. Prove it.
You are incorrect.
What is your sauce?
I can't do it right now. I'm not.
But when you
Look,
get time, I'm going to come back so you can prove it.
I'm gonna send it to you.
Cite your sauce.
Still my shit, nigga.
Cite your sauce.
Look, when I send it to you, I want you
Oh,
to
you gotta
make.
text me. You gotta text you.
Look, I'm gonna make you a cameo. I want you to get a cameo. Say my brother Ish, he cracked my muffin, man. He proved it to
You
me.
gotta cite your source.
That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send you the.
They argue about Mansa Musa. I'm out
Yo,
here.
he was a capitalist.
Holy shit.
He's a capitalist, bro.
No, he wasn't.
But why? I do need to hear you say why. 'Cause I don't know none of this.
Capitalism isn't even consistent with traditional African rulership. It's not even consistent with it. It's not even consistent. African culture is communalistic.
Let me ask you a question.
African
Let
culture
me
is
ask you a question.
communalistic.
Are Egyptians black in your opinion?
Are you talking ancient Kemites?
Yes.
Or modern
No,
Arabs?
ancient.
What about them? Were they capitalists?
Were they black?
Of course they were African.
They were African.
Yes.
We in agreement.
Yes.
They leached off of the slave population.
That
of
is not
Egypt.
true at all. You've been listening to too much
No, I have
Abrahamic
not.
religious.
Been reading them white books.
I might not be as well read as you because this is your job.
Show me the proof.
All right. This is easy.
Yo, can we pivot to something? Because
Go ahead.
It's Snow Bunny, right?
I'm chilling over here.
I wanted to pivot because we did this for a while, but
Go ahead.
I just finished seeing you have a conversation with another podcast. I'm not going to say
Yes, sir.
who,
Yes, sir.
But you had a conversation about Deion Sanders.
Yes, sir.
And the back and forth was
Yeah, you gotta stop that shit.
no. The back
gotta
and forth
stop
was
that.
the back and forth was great.
I love you.
No, he
Because
don't.
I agree with everything you said
agree with a lot.
in respects of his
Imani,
move
help
from-
us. Give us
Okay,
the context.
so
I
the
agree with
conversation was based upon Deion Sanders' move from
Jackson State.
Jackson State
to Colorado.
University of Colorado.
to a HBCU
To Boulder.
to
From-
Colorado.
Yeah.
and what it meant. And,
Yes.
you know, the
Yes.
statement of everyone saying, you know, he's doing the job for us and he's pushing us
Yes.
forward. And the pushback is, no, it's really for self. It doesn't help blacks
doesn't.
in any
It
way.
doesn't. It doesn't.
I totally agree. I think it was a selfish move. I think it was a move to kind of stand in the side of white folks.
I said that the
It
day he
absolutely
did.
And the history that probably it makes for him. But if he does that same thing at a HBCU, like Jackson State, gets them to where they need to get to, you make a bigger statement doing it with home team.
No, and
This is a crock of shit.
And more people will follow the leader. It's
Yeah.
a macro versus a micro thing. And I think at Jackson State, he was making change.
Yes.
He was getting a lot of things
Yes.
done. He was bringing the economic base
Yes.
to their school
Yes.
and to the surrounding
And top
community.
recruits.
And
Yes.
to the surrounding communities.
Yes.
One, you're gonna set the stage. So you'll be the sacrificial lamb because I heard some shit was going wrong inside the institution. Cool, right? I think that was his justification to leave. I love Deion
That was an
Sanders.
excuse to
Yeah,
leave.
justification. Yeah, I think that was. But
Wait,
I
what
think
was the excuse?
There was some
That
things going on in the
mad shit
They
institution.
broke
going
into
on.
his
The school
office.
was-
They broke into
No, the
his
dean
car.
was doing dumb
the
shit.
university
That was-
wasn't paying him. He's
Yeah.
supposed to get a certain percentage of the
They had,
ticket
like,
sales
water
and all that
problems,
other crap.
flooding.
You didn't believe
Yeah.
any of that.
No, I do.
No, it may be very well true. I
believe
believe
it's
it
true.
all.
You just
There's
don't get it.
still no
It's not a
excuse
reason
to
to
leave.
He
just said the school was
Jackson
broke down.
State
You
is a
crazy as hell.
state institution. Do you know what that means?
Yes.
That means there's a board of governors that oversees the provost,
The actual budget and
principal,
everything of the school.
president. He could have went to the state.
Yes, he could have.
He didn't do that because he wanted out. He never thought he would get an offer from a PWI that quickly.
I agree.
So that's why he promised those kids that he wasn't just there
I
for the
agree.
short term. But once the money came, he abandoned them. He went with the money instead of the change for the community.
And I think
said that
and I
today.
think the
I
It's
said
a
that
simp
the-
move.
I
And
said
let me
that.
tell you what a simp is for the pan. It is selfish.
Oh, shit.
Listen. No, my
Oh.
simp ain't y'all simp. I want y'all to understand what
Thank
my
you.
simp. Simp is an
Acronyms.
acronym.
Yeah.
Selfish, individualistic,
Yeah, you forgot
You
the
forgot.
M, nigga.
You forgot your
Materialistic.
acronym.
But you're right.
okay? Political punk. Simp.
Two Ps.
Selfish, individualistic, materialistic, political punk. That's a simp.
Yeah, you wrote that.
I'm not
yourself.
dealing with street terms. I'm dealing politically. That was a simp move. It was selfish. It was individualistic. It was materialistic because he wanted the money, and it was a political punk move because you took power from us.
You think being selfish is a bad thing?
It depends.
Absolutely, if you're African, because we don't win without it. See, let me explain something. We're starting behind everybody else.
True.
Right? The white man had a 243-year head start called slavery.
400
So if we want to catch up, we cannot practice selfishness. He can be selfish now because his foundation is laid. The Chinese can be selfish now. Their foundation is laid. We can't because our foundation has not been laid. We got to run twice as fast to get half
That's
as
why.
much.
That's why I say it's not about equality. It's about equity. Like
I agree.
You could give both
I
of us
agree.
the same size stool.
Right,
but
that doesn't even.
No, you might.
Right, you're right. Go
Parks is 6'5". Right, so let's just say Parks has a head start over me. So if you give Parks a stool
6 more inches.
and you give
And
Imani
give
a stool,
you 6 more inches.
yeah, then it's
He's still tall.
he still got the same advantage over me.
Exactly.
So now it's about equity as
It's
opposed
about equity.
to equality.
And you're
so
never
now
gonna
for you
get
to give me
equity.
equality in 2024, nigga, you still gonna have the fucking advantage over me. I want the equity. I don't want your fucking
I agree.
equality.
What you feel was the real reason why Colorado brought Deion over there? Their real reason, intention.
The white
don't-
power
I don't
structure was
even know.
threatened by the
Look.
fact that Deion Sanders was going to redirect all those high school athletes back to HBCUs, which would have turned HBCUs into a multi-million-dollar athletic
It would have taken a
movement.
bunch.
And
It
answered it, but that's why.
Look,
that's
no, I'm agreeing.
yeah.
With, I said,
Okay.
you wasn't here. I said that shit last year when it first happened.
And he
I was
over
mad
there
at him.
in a city
My
with
thing-
1% white folks, making them lily rich, and all them goofy ass rappers and everybody else running out there to the Colorado football games, making more money
They
for a
invited us.
white school that only got 2% black students, and half of them are athletes. Insane.
Doc, let me ask you.
Insane.
This. Let me ask you this.
We always choose ego over power. You know that? We always choose ego over power.
So
Divide and conquer.
if some of those things are true that he stated about Jackson State, you're of the belief that black people should stay and get fucked by black people rather than go.
No. I don't want to
I'm
answer for you,
saying
but no.
that black people suffer from post-traumatic slavery disease. And if you care about us, you're going to have to put up with a lot of hell
what I think.
from us on the road to redemption.
That's what I think.
Deion Sanders is from the hood, if I'm not mistaken.
He is.
So I'm sure he's been robbed before, had something stolen from him before. Did he move out the damn hood when something happened in the hood? Hell no. That is an excuse because you wanted to go after the white money. It's
Yo,
an
listen,
excuse, man.
Calhoun from UConn was the highest paid state employee in the whole state of Connecticut. that pay came from above the dean of that university. So if Deion wanted a higher pay raise, if Deion wanted to modify his payment structure, he can now go to higher level officials and say, yo, this is what I brought to the economy in this particular area. I think I'm due for some more spanking.
It's not my job to do that. If I have a contract that says in year 2, this is what's supposed to happen. In year 3, this is supposed to happen.
But because of your cachet, you have the ability to do that,
you're not supposed to do that, Joe. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm agreeing with that piece. But in this world, nigga, we overcome obstacles. That's what we here for. If me and you have a contract dispute, I'm not going to just say fuck Joe and I'm out because we had a contract dispute.
I'm going to take it
I'm
to
gonna
the
try
state.
to work through it.
The people who fund the school in the first place. He never did that.
I just want to ask, when Deion first took that job at Jackson State,
he promised these kids some shit.
Did he not go in there promising that I'm coming here?
I spoke with the players. They said
change.
I spoke with them.
And if you're going to make change, you got to understand some of the shit that you coming into is going to be some bullshit.
Yes.
That's the whole purpose of being there. You're strong enough, and you're the person. You got the attention on you. You got the fanfare.
Y'all are
successful. You have the education.
You have the wealth.
If there's anybody who should be able to come into this situation and change it for the betterment of what you said you come here to do it for, and then at the quickest opportunity you get to run to Colorado, that to me seems like you ran on bullshit, just like the politicians run on.
And the hypocrisy of it is the fact that the reason the HBCUs are struggling financially the way that they are because the black celebrities do not. Our celebrity class, our millionaire class, our billionaire class, they do not redirect their disposable funds to these HBCUs. You understand me? If Puffy Combs was sponsoring a Howard, if Oprah was sponsoring a Tennessee State, if they gave back to these HBCUs, they would be in a much better position than what they're in. Huh?
You named 2 people with schools.
Say that again.
Who got schools?
Oprah and Puff.
Puff has no
Well,
school.
I said Oprah went to Tennessee State. Puff went to Howard. But the point that I'm making, though, we have enough economics in our community amongst our celebrities that they could sponsor an HBCU. There's about 100 and something HBCUs. If you take all the football players and basketball players of a certain income or greater, especially our billionaire class, there's enough money to go around that could save these institutions.
Even the millionaire
How dare
class.
you not give to the institution
You put a lot of
and
weight
then
on
criticize them because you got robbed. And the reason you got robbed is because you never did nothing for the institution before you got there. It's hypocrisy. Now let's look at Harvard and Yale. Let me give you the opposite. Do you know why Harvard and Yale been giving out full scholarships to African American high school seniors who have a 4.0 and a perfect SAT? You go to Harvard and Yale for free. You know why? Because the IRS ordered Harvard and Yale to liquidate some of its assets because they were richer than the government itself. Harvard had more money than the U.S. government itself. And they decided that was unhealthy for the economy. And do you know why they got so much money? They're alumni. Give back every day and all day. Black alumni don't do the same.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
That leads us perfectly into our black elitist conversation.
Yes, sir.
But before we leave this, y'all stay at Jackson State with your son that's trying to be an NFL quarterback, knowing that this level of competition is looked at a certain way. Y'all stay at Jackson State knowing that you maybe can help 20, 30, 40 X amount of black players, black retired players, black coaches. Like you're willing to sacrifice all of the greater good that you can do for black people, people by staying at Jackson State.
You're helping 50 and you're discarding 50,000.
You put the number 50 on it.
You said 30, 40 people.
Right.
So I gave you 50.
Hypothetically 50.
I rounded up to 50.
No, I think he's helping way more than that.
You said you're 30, 40. You said 30, 40. That was the number you used. I'm going to give you 100. In staying at Jackson State,
that's the greater
he helps
good.
The entire community.
Absolutely.
One. Not just that, you set a path for other black institutions to now reap the benefits of your success. Your son is who he gonna be.
Regardless.
Jerry Rice, Steve McNair. It's a lot of motherfuckers
Steve McNair
that
came from Alcorn
black
State.
schools.
Shannon Sharp got 3 Super Bowls.
It's a lot of kids
He's
that-
in the Hall of Fame and he went to Savannah State.
Look, it's
so
black-
if you're good, you're good.
Yeah.
It don't
Jerry
matter
Rice,
where you went.
the
Are you
numbers
going to help people? Or are you going in to change the system in
Period.
which you
Period.
spoke about? That's the difference.
Tokenism
Same
of
thing.
revolution.
But no, it can't be the same thing.
Tokenism of revolution.
It can't be under the guise that you saying.
Tokenism of revolution, Joe.
Yeah, there you go.
Tokenism of revolution.
And you're of the belief that tokenism is of no help.
Show me where it has helped.
Jay-Z.
Barack Obama is like a token in
He said
by way of
Jay-Z's tokenism has helped us? How?
The NFL.
What institution he built?
Don't challenge this or no Jay-Z.
The NFL went and got Jay-Z to help clean up the image after they shitted on Colin Kaepernick.
Let me change it.
And that's a benefit?
Wait.
Yeah.
The Jay-Z thing is too early to see.
Okay.
I think it'll play.
I will swallow that.
I think it'll
Give
play.
him more time to see what he's going to do with it. I can agree with that.
You
That's
said
fair.
you said Barack Obama.
I've listened.
Barack Obama did what for blacks?
No, I was going to say that he's a token by way
Absolute token.
Yeah.
Right. But there was no help.
Yeah.
I agree and I disagree.
I disagree with that.
I disagree.
Where was he not a token? What did he do systemically to improve black reality? I'm listening.
All right, cool.
Obamacare.
Stop. That's one. That's huge.
Obamacare is huge.
Say it again.
Obamacare.
Obamacare was
huge.
for America. I said, what did he do for blacks?
See, so look,
If you went to the ghetto,
on,
no,
Doc,
sir.
come
No,
on.
I'm not going to let you lead on.
on, stop.
Listen. Let's go to the 5 boroughs.
True.
Let's go to Newark, Trenton, Camden,
Patterson.
Jersey City, and let's ask black people to name the 5 biggest problems for black America. How much you want to fucking bet healthcare is not on the damn list? They going to say miseducation, mass incarceration, gentrification / homelessness, police brutality, and access to wealth. Not no damn health care. Obamacare did nothing about the health care discrepancies for black folks. Bullshit. That was for America. That wasn't for us.
You're right. I agree with
Come
that.
on, y'all.
Let me tell you this. Hold on.
I have black family members.
Healthcare is in the
where
top. You're wrong.
They got that shit and was very happy
of
with
them
it.
are great.
Even
I
if
didn't
he
say
did it for America.
They'd be happy if they hit the lottery too, Joe.
Yeah.
That ain't the point. The point is Obamacare is not a top 5 issue for black folks. And if you think Obamacare helped us so much, why do black women in America lead the developed world in infant mortality? What Obamacare do for that? What Obamacare do for that? What about all the
because there's so much
intentional black
racism built
COVID
into
deaths?
the
What
medical
Obamacare do for that?
institution.
Obamacare does not address healthcare disparities or racism that black people face when they engage the medical system.
That's very
does
true.
nothing
It does
at
not.
all for that.
It
That's
does
incorrect.
not. You're right.
That is incorrect.
How?
How?
If you mad people, and we got people in this room, and extensions of the people in this room did not have health care prior to. I'm 47 years old.
Can you aim your mic?
I'm 47 years old, and I know mad motherfucking people, and I'm sure we all do, that did not have zero health care prior to Obamacare.
That was not the question.
So when you say how
I said, how did the
I'm about to answer
racism?
you. No, you didn't. You said, how did it help black people?
Yes.
I'm answering you.
Directly for.
Because these people would have
Obamacare
zero.
was for America, not for black America.
I'm not disagreeing
what
with you.
What did he do specifically for us?
Nothing.
The Asians got an anti-hate bill
Nothing.
for them. Israelis
Listen.
get federal money for them.
I'm not disagreeing.
Afghanis got a bailout for them.
That's not the question you
Ukrainians
asked
got a bailout for them.
Yeah,
What did he do for us?
No.
Don't give me some shit for the whole
got a bill
country.
that every-
Look at the LGBT. What did he do for us?
What?
Yo, listen what I'm telling
Stop
you.
integrating us in with the whole
let me answer-
country.
I can answer you.
Our problems are
Yo,
unique.
dog, number one, Barack Obama wasn't strong enough to do nothing for us.
Correct.
Because
Well, yeah,
that's
correct.
number one. So be clear, I don't give a fuck if that nigga had hug your kid 10 times a day law. The fucking Republicans was running the fucking Congress, they would have repealed that shit. They would have
Even if
vetoed
they
it.
didn't, he wasn't gonna do nothing.
They would have vetoed that. You can't say that.
Yes, I can.
That's
I'm
not
gonna tell
fair.
you
That's
why.
not
No, it's
fair.
very fair.
That's
You know
not
why it's fair? I'm gonna tell you why it's fair.
Everything he
I'ma tell you
proposed,
why
they
it's
shot
fair.
it down.
I don't fault Obama because he didn't change anything. For the reasons you mentioned. I fought Obama because you didn't even speak truth to power for our problems. He didn't even speak truth to power about mass incarceration, miseducation.
He did.
You know
but
what he did for
tiptoed.
police genocide?
He tiptoed.
He gave them the cameras.
He tiptoed.
He gave them the
body
camera.
cams.
The body cams.
Yep.
Has that stopped the police from killing
No, the
anybody?
fuck it has not.
He tiptoed.
He did
Nah,
nothing
they just
at
cut
all.
that shit off.
He transgendered our children though in public school.
Oh,
Congratulations.
wait. Oh, come on, Doc. Wait, slow down. Why you say that?
He transgendered the kids.
You be putting a lot of weight on. You put a lot of weight on Deion's shoulders.
Can I ask you a question?
A lot of weight on.
Can I ask you a question?
Obama transgender the kids.
Can you name the president of the United States of America? Because there's only been 2. One of them in office now. But can you name the first president of the United States of America who during his second term of office sent a letter to every state department of education in America and said, children, from this point forward, can use the bathroom of the gender they identify with, and if you try to stop them from doing so, we will cut all your federal education funding. Who was that president, Joe?
So unisex bathrooms.
Who was that president, Joe?
I don't know.
It was Obama.
Barack Obama. So here's my question to you. Now,
Dukakis.
listen, you're talking to a psychologist. Stay with me.
And that's not unisex bathrooms neither.
Not just that, but
I know.
that's not him, yo. Yeah, that's not fair.
Yeah, I don't like what
he
you're
wrote
doing.
he sent that letter, but it ain't
That
fair.
don't mean he wrote it. He's a puppet. Oh,
Nigga, he signed it.
he's a
He
puppet.
taking that.
He don't
Somebody
have a
taking
fucking
that.
choice.
Look,
Come on, dog.
Can't do that.
Is he a puppet? Is he a puppet?
Of course.
Okay.
All right, so
But I'm still going to hold
So-
him accountable for.
How?
Hold him accountable
Hey,
for-
if some
for
good
the-
shit,
How does he go
happened
against-
that he put his
How
name
does he go
on,
against the
people
we
that's
give him the
running?
credit.
I'm holding
There you go.
you
So we
and
gotta
the
hold him
system
accountable
you
for some
represent
bad shit,
accountable.
too.
Do you feel
That's
me?
what I'm
So
telling
you
you.
hold him
You and
accountable
the
for allowing himself to be a puppet?
I'm gonna hold him accountable for being a goddamn coon, and I'm gonna hold the crackers accountable that control and manipulate him. They both get held
And how
accountable.
can he overcome that?
See, the problem with us, we got too many fucking coons in Black America. Obama is a fucking coon.
All right, hold on.
KOON, however you want to spell it. He's a coon, and he's going to be held accountable for cooning. Because the most dangerous thing you could do in Black America is coon around.
So you wasn't happy when he became president?
Of course not. I'm the only scholar in the country who said that when he gets out of office, Black America will be worse off after Obama than before. And look at what you got. Do you know Donald Trump would have never even been president if Obama had not preceded him?
Well,
You don't get a Donald Trump without a Barack
but
Obama.
That's, but
So let me
but
ask you
you-
this.
Obama made him possible. No
the,
Obama, no
the
Trump.
pendulum usually swings really dramatic to the other end of the spectrum,
It does.
depending on what we've
It
just,
does.
you know,
And
in-
Biden after
yeah.
him.
Yeah,
It does.
Yeah.
But the point is, here's the bigger question, because we're dealing in personalities, not systems. When are Black people going to get off the Democratic Party plantation?
I'm with
That's
you.
the bigger question.
1,000%.
I'm with you.
I agree with
I'm
you.
with you
I'm
on
with
that.
I want to.
When there's somewhere else
take
to
it a step
go.
further. I want to say, when are Black people going to stop playing politics? It's not for us. This structure of politics is not for us.
I don't necessarily disagree,
I don't-
but I'm trying to follow. Land me. I need you to land that to see if I agree.
I'm at the point where I don't feel like there should be any Black politicians playing this game until we have some establishment of a Black party. If you're going to represent a party, you represent the Black party.
A party or a political union.
or that represents.
Because you don't now
What?
if we're in the
true.
majority, it should be a party.
That's how I feel.
Jersey, Newark, we're in the majority, I believe.
Here we are.
So in Newark, we should have a party. Jersey City, we're not in the minority. I think it's the Latinos.
Oh, okay.
No.
Right? So you need a union. If we can win the office, we need a party.
Let me rephrase that.
If you can't
Let me
win the
rephrase.
office,
We should not play politics under the same guise that we've been playing it from this point forward.
absolutely.
It's
The
not beneficial
Democratic
to us.
Republican dichotomy is a complete
right.
trap.
So let me.
Completely.
So now let me ask. So now let me ask you this.
Until the Black vote is organized
See, people-
along Black community lines, it never works for us.
Dog,
we
people-
need a Black vote, not a Democratic vote, not a Republican vote.
Listen
we
to
need
this.
a Black vote.
And then what happens is you open up yourself to annihilation. Be the
I completely
fuck.
disagree.
Be the fuck clear. Yo, we represent 12% of the United States. One. You start talking about the Newark shit. Newark gets their state funding from the state of New Jersey.
That is true.
So now, when you separate yourself, what the fuck you think gonna happen to the kids in the school system now with no financial base
Ish.
coming from the state?
Now, I completely disagree.
I think it's the same
I
process
completely
of you
disagree
saying.
with you.
I think it's the same process of you saying we got to start somewhere.
Right.
And I think
Listen,
that's our
and I
that's our
completely
version of
disagree
So
starting.
with you.
listen,
'Cause
Wait,
that has-
let me
that's like
hear
dude-
him disagree.
Please, let me
please.
finish. Let me finish.
Look,
That's
it-
like, hold up. That's like a parent saying, yo, I hate my boss and I hate this job, so I'm gonna leave when you got 2 fucking kids at home to
No,
feed.
that's the wrong
It's the
analysis.
same thing.
The-
It's the same thing.
A minority will always be subject to the will of the majority. Agree?
As will an employee.
Absolutely. So if, with Black people being a numerical minority in America, we have to use our numerical strength, however far it is, to leverage our agenda.
True.
That can best be done by withdrawing from all of the major parties. Democrat, Republic, Green Party, Freedom Party. Get out of all of them
Okay.
and do a Black party or union. And then what happens is what? When Joe Biden comes up,
He got
the
to kiss our
primary,
ass for
you
our-
got to come and have a conversation.
That's true.
Donald Trump gets the nomination for the Republicans, you got to come and have a conversation.
True.
I represent 50 million Black votes. Presidential elections have been won on a lot
On-
less
on
than
la-
50
on
million.
less.
I got
This
50
one,
million.
this one,
Exactly.
this one.
I got 50 million Black votes. This is what we need. I know you can't do it all. Give me 3 agenda items.
Yes.
Give me 3.
I'm not opposed to that.
That you're going to fix.
I'm not
and
opposed
you
to
get
that.
these votes.
I'm not
And guess
opposed to
what? They will do it.
That's
do
true.
you want to know why?
That's true.
Because if you organize 50 million to put me in office,
True.
next election, you will organize the same 50 million to kick my white ass out
You
of
are
office.
absolutely right.
The
That's
issue with Black America and the reason why nobody takes our vote seriously It's a disorganized vote.
Agreed.
That's our biggest problem.
agree with
The black community does not vote for the black community.
I agree with
We're
that.
caught up in what's best for the Democratic Party.
I agree
We're
with that.
caught up in what's best for the Republic. In that shit,
I agree.
Yeah.
vote a black vote.
I
That's
agree.
the solution.
I-
But guess
I agree.
what?
I'm not disagreeing with
Nobody wants to see that happen, especially black politicians. Why is that, Joe?
Because
why do the black politicians in Jersey City and Trenton and Newark, they fear a organized black vote?
Yo, don't diss my man Ross.
You know why?
Umar.
I'm not
Don't diss
dissing
my
him.
man
We
Ross
talking
Baraka.
about
That's my
systems,
brother,
not-
though.
I respect Ross.
All right.
We're not talking about personality.
Gotcha.
We talk about policy. You know why the black politician, don't want to organize black vote? If we get organized, we make them fight the white folks they've been having tea and coffee with all week.
Lobbyists and all of them.
He now got to go to war with the cracker who controls them.
Yeah.
They don't want to do that. The black politician is more afraid than the white politician of the black vote being organized.
And, stay there.
They scared
Stay,
shitless.
all right, so stay there. Same thing with the black businessman.
Oh, I agree.
All right, then. So,
I agree.
so when you start talking about some of this shit, that's where my classism argument comes in. Look at that. Complete circle.
But here's why the classism
let
argument
me
gotta be
finish.
tempered for a minute.
Let me
But
finish.
wait,
Now you
say
can't
this.
finish.
You don't really have class in black America. You know why? Class is a concept that refers to ownership of wealth. The traditional definition of class is ownership of wealth.
Sure.
We don't have
shit.
wealth.
That's not
we
true.
have more money. That's not class.
That's not true.
Income is not class.
You are-
Ownership is class.
You are correct. And
You
there,
see what I'm saying?
and there is a subsect of black culture
we ain't
that
got
is
no
starting
class.
to move up the wealth
man.
meter exponentially, in fact, with home ownership, insurance,
That's
et cetera,
true.
et cetera. Those are the things
But
that
do
are
you
building
know how
wealth.
far away
I'm not
from white folks
comparing.
they are?
No. Stay here, because you be moving the goalposts. We are talking about classism within blacks. You
Exactly.
said, fuck the whites.
Ain't
We're
no
talking
class.
about. You're
It's
wrong.
imaginary, bro.
You're wrong.
What we own? The average middle class black person is 2 or 3 paychecks away from poverty.
True.
What we own?
That's-
We don't got no class. You know what we do have?
No,
a
there-
caste system. CASTE.
What's the
A
difference?
caste. Class is about of ownership of wealth. Class is ownership of wealth.
Caste is about
based on ethnicity and race.
True. We
You
don't
see?
have a caste system in the black America. I disagree. We have a class system brewing in black America because, again, there is a subsect of black people that are flying up the wealth meter.
But that's a minority.
I'm not disagreeing.
It's
but
not
I
decisive
agree.
enough. Go ahead.
Listen, so those same black people that are increasing their wealth are starting to be cooler with the cool rich whites than they are with the poor race blacks.
Exactly. But that's not because of class.
Listen,
that's because of access.
the same way-
Any Negro who
Hold
does
up.
not respect his race will coon out at the first chance he get. I don't give a damn if he make $1 an hour or $1 million an hour.
There we go.
A coon is a coon,
There we go.
and it has
There we
nothing
go.
to do with
There we
income.
go.
It ain't got nothing to do with
That's it.
income.
Listen,
That's
It
it.
ain't got nothing to do with how much money you
Dog.
make. A coon will coon regardless.
So the wealthy white, listen. So the wealthy white that's cool with the wealthy black, but could give a fuck about the poor white. What are
He
they?
ain't playing.
Say that again.
Wealthy white, wealthy black, right? Let's say they're neighbors, whatever the fucking case may
I
be.
got you.
The wealthy white.
Is going to look for how he can exploit the wealthy.
You didn't
black
even
for
let
his
me
own
get my
personal
sense,
gain.
bro.
Yeah.
That's not true. Hey, yo,
Oh
bro.
my God. It's very true.
Listen. Look.
What are you talking
Listen
about?
to what
It's
I'm saying.
very true.
The wealthy white, the wealthy black.
Uh-huh.
The wealthy white cares more about that wealthy black than he cares about that poor white.
You absolutely wrong.
No.
That's not true.
Even Joe
That's
said
not
you was
true.
wrong.
He'll work
You
his way to get
absolutely
that.
wrong.
He'll work his
You
way to
out
get
your
that.
fucking
He'll
mind.
work his
You
way to get that
absolutely
poor
wrong.
white.
So
up.
why
You
don't
don't
know
understand
all the
racism.
broke?
You don't
Why
understand
y'all broke?
racism.
Yo, nobody can.
You don't
nobody
understand
ever answers this
racism.
question for me.
You don't
If white
understand
people
racism.
got all this power and all this money,
You don't
why the
understand
fuck is
racism.
90% of them broke?
Well, hold on.
Capitalism.
Dr.
Why
Umar,
the fuck are 90% of them
you're
broke?
saying
Y'all just told me the
capitalism.
wealthy white man would try to help pull the white up. That's what
Capitalism.
you said. Why the fuck they not helping them?
No. You said that
Imani
the
said.
wealthy
No,
white
Imani. Yes.
cares more about the wealthy black than the poor white.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, you're wrong.
I disagree. We
You
can
are
agree to
wrong.
disagree.
Well, Dr. Umar, can I just make it
Sure.
very
Go
noticeable?
ahead, go ahead.
Ish believes that racism is dying at this point.
I believe that racism.
You've been the past 20 years.
So I believe
It's
that.
dying.
So-
it just reinvented itself and had triplets and shit. What are
disagree.
you talking about? It's dying.
Okay.
So that's why the perspective of how
No,
you
that's
saying
not
it.
why my perspective is that. My
Racism is
perspective
dying.
is I'm a mathematical dude. I believe in the math thing. So my point is that nobody can answer me with is if white superiority is their primary objective. I believe power is any wealthy person's objective because I think that regardless of color, we want to maintain our wealth. So you could go to Africa, you could go to fucking India, you could go to China, you could go anywhere you want. The wealthy people in those regions want to maintain their power. You maintain your power by suppressing the majority. So now, regardless of color, my point to y'all is, if white power was such a real ideal thing, why the fuck are they not helping the poor whites?
Who said they weren't?
Yeah.
Let me throw a couple things at you. There was some research that was done
Who said
recently.
they not?
Who said they not?
Numbers?
Stay with me.
You can't
Stay
use
with
numbers
me.
when they benefit you.
Here's
Go
the
ahead.
point you're missing. Although they may be poor, they have advantages, opportunities,
True.
and access to resources that we will never touch. There was a research study that was done recently.
Move the mic
Stay with
closer,
me.
Doc.
Stay with me.
Move the mic closer to you, Doc.
You got to move
Say
the
that
mic,
again.
the mic,
Move the mic a little
my
closer to you
bad.
so I can hear you.
The mic.
There was a research study done recently where they looked at people who are looking for jobs. White men, no college. You probably know what I'm talking about. White males, no college, no degrees, prison record. Black male, no prison record.
Yeah.
Bachelor's degree, master's degree. Guess who got called back?
I believe you.
5 times as likely than the other group.
I believe that.
Yeah.
The whites.
I believe that.
So when you say the rich white care more about the rich black, why didn't he hire the black male with the college
More
degree
qualified.
like he got instead of the poor white male?
My
Go
turn,
ahead.
my turn to answer you?
Yes, sir.
The person doing the hiring ain't the rich white. The person doing the hiring is the fucking mid-level HR nigga that don't feel threatened by the white man. He feel threatened by the black dude. That's
who does he
let
answer
me
to?
answer you.
Who does he answer to?
Let me.
Who controls that
Look,
institution?
The questions, and I've been in mid-level corporate America before. The motherfuckers up there don't know what we doing down here. They leave and delegate that to you. If Joe had an HR manager that he hired to come in here and clean this motherfucking apartment, Joe might not know who the fuck cleans this
Something
apartment.
just hit me.
Shoot.
Are you mixed race?
No.
Or you a bunny hopper?
Yes. Per your
That's why you
not
have
true.
a liberal
That's
perspective.
not true. That's not
because you go home
That's
to a
not
white
true.
woman.
Yes, but that's not true. I felt this way before I met my white girlfriend.
So help me understand how you could be so passionate about the black.
I'm passionate. I'm an objective thinker. I don't. If something makes
So
sense,
you
to
have
me,
no loyalty to the black community.
No, I do have. I probably employ more blacks than you.
Okay. So help me understand that you employ more blacks than me, but you go home to a white woman. Why you don't have a black woman?
Because I fell in love with a white woman, not a black.
Why didn't you fall in love with a
I
black
did.
woman?
I fell in love with a black woman. We broke up.
Okay. And why didn't you fall in love with another black woman?
I did that too. We broke up.
Okay. And why didn't you get another one and another one and another one until you found the right one?
Because I met a white woman that I fell in love with, and that's the person that
And
I'm
you're
with
being
today.
disingenuous about
That's not
something.
true.
And let me tell you what you're being
Shoot.
disingenuous about.
Shoot.
Romance is a function of focus and opportunity. If I want to date an Asian, I'm going to put myself around Asian women so I can find one.
True.
If I want to date a Latino, I'm going to put myself around Latino women so I can date one. If you wanted to marry a black woman, you would have put yourself around black women so you can find one. So how did you end up with the Caucasian? No disrespect to her.
No, not at all. What I'm telling you is the places that I go socially are not just monolithic.
So what? I went to a white college, white job. I never bunny hopped.
Listen to my question. Let me answer you. That wasn't my priority. My priority wasn't, I'm not closed off to dating Latino women. I'm not closed off to dating Asian women. I'm not closed off to dating white women. So again, in my search for romance, all of those things were on the table.
But you
for
do
me.
understand that by not being with a black woman,
I'm
you
answering.
undermine
That's your
the
opinion.
success of the black community.
That's your opinion.
That's my opinion. Then tell me how the black community benefits from you having a white woman.
If I lend to the financial
Uplifting.
uplifting of that community, one, that's one thing. Two, if I'm helping to educate the people in that particular community, that's a benefit.
Does not your white woman benefit more from your economics than any black person?
Yeah, probably.
Exactly.
So
So-
why can't they both be mutually beneficial?
You want to know why? Because she belongs to the group that is responsible for the historical oppression of your race.
So
why would you voluntarily go over and marry into that? Because when you marry the woman,
Whoa.
you don't just marry the woman or date the woman. You're dating her community and her culture.
So let's-
and given the history of us and them, why would you dare align yourself with that if you care about us?
Let me ask you a question. I want you to let me get my
Yes, sir. Yes,
answers
sir.
out.
Go ahead.
So hypothetically, if you're in one tribe, I'm in another tribe. That tribe is responsible for killing some people in your family.
Okay.
We're gonna keep it right here. You a Crip, I'm a Blood.
Okay.
You're responsible for killing some of my people for the last 30, 40 years. I'm responsible for killing some of your people for the last 30, 40 years. I'm going to judge you because you're a blood or you're a Crip based on all of the shit that your peoples and your crew did for the last 30, 40 years, or am I going to judge you based on who you are?
I understand your analysis, but here's where I disagree with your analysis. Although your white girlfriend, and possibly probably none of her family owned a slave, you understand?
They're from Portugal.
Hung an African. They're from Portugal. Although the Portuguese were some of the first ones in the slave trade.
Are the very
Absolutely,
pioneers,
they built most of the dungeons in Africa.
Sure indeed.
So I know she got racism in her veins because of the Portuguese role in the slave trade. But anyhow, let's say her family was exempt from all of that.
That's true. But that's true. The Portuguese were pivotal in the slave trade.
What's not fair? They was the first ones in the shit. You can't go the fuck out of here with this shit.
Fuck that. No, that's true.
You know why I like that? You can't go in the beginning of the white Portuguese bloodline.
Go ahead. It was in the shit in the 1400s. The Portuguese 1400s.
Stop. I want him to go.
They built the first fucking dungeon.
Slaves was picked up.
I'm a cracker.
I'm
gonna crack him.
Go ahead. I know where you're gonna go.
I'm gonna crack you. I want you to finish.
Now.
I'm gonna crack him. I want you to finish.
No, you're not.
I promise you.
Because you're bunny hopping. Listen.
I know.
The reason you should not be with her.
I want you to finish your
I'm going
point.
to finish. I'm going to finish.
I'm gonna crack
This
your
way I
muffin
was.
too. Go ahead.
The reason you have no business being with a Caucasian woman is although she nor her family may have participated in our oppression directly, she benefits from it. Every white person benefits from the enslavement of blacks. Every white person benefits from the marginalization of black folks. Every white person benefits from every handicap that has been introduced into our community. And I'm quite sure she, like every other white person, has done nothing to level the playing field.
Should we have that same disdain for the Africans that sold us into the slave trade?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
That's a great question.
That continue.
May I answer?
Oh, no, whoa.
That
No.
continue to
You've
benefit.
been talking. No, you've been talking. I want to go. Yo, you are a You are a Pan-Africanist, and you push that we should go back to Africa, or no?
You're wrong again.
No, that's not.
I'm going to clarify. The most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey said, quote, "The only people we want in Africa are those who are willing to do something good for Africa.
Gotcha.
Most of you are no good right here in New York City.
True indeed.
And will damn well be no good in
And be
Africa.
pieces of shit in Africa.
There was never a back to Africa movement. Only those who wanted to go back and build should go. Could you imagine me coming to New York or New Jersey with a big ship, a Noah's Ark, and put every Negro you know, Flip, and take them to Africa with their white girlfriends, they video games, they weaves, they perms, they Air Jordans? Africa got enough problems as she is now. Last thing Africa needs is a bunch of post-traumatic slavery disease Negroes coming back home without their right African mind.
Get them
So we
Chinese,
don't
get that
believe in a
Chinese
wholesale
government
back
out
to
there
Africa
too.
movement.
Bro, let's-
Now,
Go ahead.
do you want me to answer his
Yes.
question?
No, you could. I'm back on you.
Now, you said, shouldn't we hate the Africans who participated in the slave trade? I want you to show me one country in Africa today that benefits right now, from the fact we wasn't enslaved. Give me one.
You're moving the goalpost.
I'm not moving the
You
goalpost.
are.
No, I'm not.
You are. You
No,
said,
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Stop.
No, I'm not.
Stop. You said Portuguese people or the Portuguese, and I'm agreeing with you. They were some of the pioneers of this bullshit. I'm agreeing with you. Stop. I'm
And
agreeing.
they're not done. Can I ask you a
No,
question?
bro.
Can I ask you a question?
You're not
Who
letting me-
colonized Brazil?
You're not letting me
Who
finish.
colonized
Portuguese.
Brazil?
Portuguese.
Who still controls Brazil?
Portuguese.
I made my fucking point.
True. I'm not.
Today they still running
That
it.
don't matter.
Brazil is the largest population of black people outside of
In the
Africa.
world.
And
Yes.
what are they flipped?
True.
Portuguese.
Right.
I didn't know that.
Fuck he's saying.
I didn't know that.
They run
Brazil
this shit
has the
down.
biggest black
They run
population
this
in the
shit
world.
down.
And the reason why is
This
because
ain't
they
past
established.
Too many black people that don't want to go with me to Brazil when I say that, for that to be
No.
There's
It's
more
the
of
biggest-
us in
yeah.
Brazil than any
Than
country
anywhere.
on earth outside of Nigeria.
He's right. 1,000% right.
Brazil is black.
So let me ask you this: Imani's question
Tell
to
me.
you was,
Brazil.
should we hold the same contempt?
And I answered his question. And
No,
my
you
question,
didn't.
Yes,
You
I
didn't.
did.
You
yes,
did.
I did. Well, let me answer it.
let me
I gave him.
let me ask it. Let me ask it, please.
Hold on.
Yeah, no, you owe them.
Hold on. The difference is, no African country benefits today
still
from
to
the slave trade.
Slave trade.
And I would even argue that the benefit that they did have for participating in it was minimal. Because right after slavery ended, what happened next? Colonization. They came into Africa and enslaved you in your own land. But here's what I want you to understand, which I think you know anyway. The transatlantic slave trade, what we call the Ma'afa, was a European enterprise. They built it, they ran it, they benefited from it, they expanded it. It was not an African-controlled enterprise.
1000%.
There were some Africans involved.
Participated.
Absolutely, but that was minimal compared to
True.
the grandiosity of the scheme
the biggest
itself.
business in the world.
You understand what I'm saying?
I asked the
so
que-
the difference is the Portuguese are still exploiting us in Brazil. You understand?
Even if they're not directly.
Not only
even,
Brazil,
even-
Angola is Portuguese.
Right.
Mozambique is
Angola.
Portuguese.
Right.
They still exploiting us to this day.
True. Let me ask you
And
this.
what is your white girlfriend doing about the exploitation of Africans in Brazil, Mozambique, and Angola?
Nothing.
I didn't think so.
Let me ask you this.
My nigga.
Let me ask you this. No. I'm about to ask you a question.
Can we switch gears?
No, my question is this. What the fuck are 97% of the black people doing about the exploitation of black people worldwide?
Don't do that.
No, stop.
Don't do that.
We holding people to
Don't
a different
do that.
standard.
We're not holding people to a different
I'm
standard.
talking about niggas in
Right,
Newark,
but let
niggas
me
in
tell you-
Harlem. Nick, stop.
Can I tell you the difference?
Hey, Dr. Umar, you
Can I tell you the difference is?
No, it's my go.
Let me get it. Okay, go ahead.
It's my
go
go.
ahead. Go ahead.
What
I
I'm
need
sa-
another water. What we
Me
got
too.
over here?
Throw me water. Yo, dog.
You want some stronger?
I'm
You
saying-
get-
Bring me some Nigerian punch. Bring me some Senegalese
Yo, no, listen to what I'm saying. What I'm saying is
Shit, I need a drink.
this conversation right here, right, is about accountability.
Yes, sir.
And I think that we want other people to hold themselves accountable when we all hold ourselves accountable. I don't believe in none of that white superiority. I don't believe in no white supremacy. Them fucking white people can't hold the candle to me, and I stand on that.
When you finish, can I just.
Right?
Can
I stand on that. What I'm saying is this.
As an individual, that's fine. But what about the systemic
True,
relationship?
I'm not disagreeing, but the systemic issues have to start with us. We can't expect the motherfuckers that broke us to fix us. What are we talking about?
I
That is
agree.
agree with that.
a fucking
But my
unreal-
question was, why are you laying with a member of the group that broke us?
Yo, my girlfriend is 44 years old. She don't know nothing about that shit.
the fuck?
Or even if she do know nothing,
Do
she
you
never
believe?
listen.
Who believes what he just said?
Bro, listen what I'm
Who
saying.
believes
My
what
girl-
he
Yo,
He
dog.
said his girlfriend don't know nothing about
Listen,
the fact
and
that Portugal
No.
colonized Brazil,
Bro,
Mozambique.
I'm allowing you to speak. I'm allowing you to speak
ahead,
uninterruptedly.
go ahead.
So again, my girlfriend ain't responsible for no black person being enslaved. The same way your people or some
she
black
benefit from it?
dog. Let me finish. The same way black motherfuckers that's out here robbing and shooting and killing people.
All white
we
people
not-
benefit from black oppression, brother. All white people benefit from
directly
black
or indirectly.
Yes, sir.
I would
Yes,
agree
sir.
with that.
Go ahead.
As do every bro. You are making this a micro conversation.
No,
when
we
it's
not.
Macro.
I'm trying to go
Every
micro to the macro.
Listen to this. Every black person that's wealthy benefit from black oppression.
I disagree with that. I disagree with
name
that.
one.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Most black people.
Name one.
I'm answering
please.
your question.
Okay.
Most black people who got wealthy through a white power structure and can be destroyed by the very power structure that made them
You
wealthy.
did not
i.e.
answer my
Bill
question. You
Cosby.
slipped
I'm
my
answering
jab.
it. No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
You did.
No,
You
I
Said
didn't.
name one black person.
Look
that
at
does
our
not benefit
billionaires.
off
Look
of
at our
black-
billionaires.
Are we talking about
LeBron
Robert
James
Smith?
got wealthy through NBA.
What Robert Smith is
Oprah through a major
I'm
network.
just naming a few.
Michael
Just
Jordan
naming
through
a few.
NBA and Nike.
They all benefit from black oppression.
How?
I'm asking
How?
y'all,
How?
which one?
Anyone, choose one.
Michael Jordan owns prison.
Let's take Robert Smith.
What the fuck
Wait,
are we
let's
talking
take
about?
let's take Robert Smith.
Oh, I'm not defending him.
Oh, okay.
I'm not defending him.
Robert Smith, I don't know enough, but
They are
he's
tokens in that
bed
system.
with mad white entities that support black oppression.
I agree
What
with
are we
that.
talking
I agree
about,
with
my
that.
nigga?
Okay.
But how did we go from bunny hopping to the black bourgeoisie billionaires?
Because you started talking about my girlfriend is benefiting from a system
She
of black
does.
oppression
And all
because she has a white
Portuguese
face.
do.
Listen, hold up. I'm not disagreeing with you. I said I agree with you.
Okay. Yeah,
Any white person in America today has a white privilege.
Thank you.
Listen to this. I would be a total idiot, which you can tell I'm not, to not identify with that.
Okay.
Listen to this.
Okay.
Listen to this.
I'm with you.
I have the same exact argument with my Jewish friends.
Okay.
Because they
Okay.
relate their struggle to ours, and I get offended
Which they
by
shouldn't.
it. I get offended by it.
They built the slave ships. They insured the
Listen,
slave ships.
I get offended by it
The
because
Secretary of Defense for the Confederacy was a slave-owning European Jew. Continue.
So what I'm saying is this: you would be a dodo to not understand that white people have a privilege in America. I'm not disagreeing with that.
but
What
you
I'm-
flipped from that and went to the billionaires who benefit from black oppression.
Yeah, because you said every white person in America benefits from white oppression.
Right, but see, the black
oppression.
billionaires have money. They don't have power. They can be destroyed. Any one of them can be destroyed.
And
by
the poor
power
white
structure.
and the white and look
Go ahead.
I sound like
If
I'm
they want
defending.
Oprah, they can
I
take
sound
Oprah tomorrow.
I sound like I'm
If they
defending.
want- if they
Wait, can we?
Look,
Wait.
Go
I
ahead.
sound like I'm defending the whites, and I'm not.
It do sound like
it
that.
does,
It does.
and it's not. I'm showing you the similarities or the poor white people in America today. they benefit from white privilege.
Correct.
Based on just their skin color. Right?
Yes.
They poor whites that live in a trailer park, some of them, no offense, that make fucking $13,000 a year. Please tell me where the fuck they benefiting from black oppression.
Okay.
I'm not white privilege is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about tell me where they are benefiting.
White privilege from the benefit
you
because
can.
white privilege
Yes,
is
you
the main
can.
benefit.
That's
it's
not
the main benefit.
They making $15,000
white-
a year with 2 teeth in their
And
mouth.
they could
Where
go
the
to
fuck are they
college
benefiting?
and get a PhD
That
in
sounds crazy.
surgery
What the fuck
or
is we talking
dentistry,
about, my nigga?
get a haircut, take a shower, and they can join the white power structure. You are black for the rest of your life. You can get all the degrees you want, get all the haircuts you want, take all the showers you want. You still black.
I was a fucking and I was a millionaire at 28 years old, and ain't no motherfucking white person never had his foot on my neck and can't stop me
But
from
you're
being
talking
successful.
about individualism.
You're
We're talking
right.
about
You're
group
right.
success.
You are right.
Can we move it forward? Can we move the conversation
There's a
forward?
lot of
Thank you,
your
please,
stories, but we're talking about
Because
the
we
general
won't
condition
practice-
of the race.
True, and a lot of that now is based on us not practicing group economics because we don't want to be at a round table. We want to be the head of the fucking table. So put
But
the
here's my
accountability on
problem with
us.
the round
The same
table.
way you want the.
Me and you can be at the round table because you got a snow bunny.
You don't want to come to my table. Keep your black ass over there.
Let's deal with the contradiction.
Dr. Umar, can we do this? Can we do this? Y'all gonna go back and forth. Y'all gonna go back and forth.
Please,
Dr. Umar,
God.
can we
He's
switch it
gonna
up?
go home, pillow talk the whole strategy to his white girlfriend, and she gonna go tell the
Dr.
Portuguese
Umar, when's the last time
community
you
what the
had
blacks
a
are
white?
planning
When's the
and blow the whole shit? You feel me?
Hold up now.
Go ahead.
Umar, we got to address some of the rumors while we're here.
Let's do it. Let's do
on
it.
the snow bunny
Let's do
crisis.
it. Let's do it.
I don't believe one word of that shit you said about the mall.
About
The mall
the mall.
with the white girl.
Oh, the white girl in Cherry
you
Hill.
was full of shit.
Nigga, listen, no.
Stop it.
Can
My
you give us
ancestors are
context?
here. No.
Mine too.
Listen, yes. In the presence of
I got
my
a call on this.
Listen. Somebody tried to hack my iPhone. The shit shut down. Boom. Right?
I bet.
So
You went to
I
the Snow
called the
Bunny for
No,
help.
no.
You
I
get
live in
fixed.
Philly, not Cherry Hill. But the Philly store didn't have no appointment for like a week. So they said the closest store we got is Cherry Hill Mall. I go to Cherry Hill Mall. I ain't been there in years though. So I go to Cherry Hill Mall, right? I get to the eye store. You know how the eye store be. 3-hour wait. What the hell I'm gonna do for 3 hours?
eye store.
So there was a suit store right across the walkway from the Apple store. So I went and bought some suits, right? Done with the suits, I still got 90 minutes. Fuck! So let me go find something to eat. I'm walking. I see a stand with incense, oils, crystals, shit black women sell. I'm thinking it's a black woman stand.
Not
You
again.
feel me? I'm like, this black shit. Incense, frankincense, and
You
musk
bought
and
some
shit.
white incense?
No,
Holy shit.
listen.
They ain't have no Egyptian musk, no nothing.
She had all that. I'm thinking it's a black look.
Got ivory oils.
Listen, I'm thinking it's a sister because the shit black. So then all of a
she had
sudden,
ass.
she comes around there, right? Ethnic European. I forget where she was from. Portugal, I think. His girlfriend! His fucking girlfriend!
His queen.
Oh shit!
His girlfriend! So listen. So she said, can I help you? And I'm looking like, what the fuck? This is you? She said, yeah. I said, wow. I thought this was owned by a black person. But no, I went ahead to buy some shit because she had some unique shit there. And I'm an incense junkie and an oil junkie. I bought some shit.
Wow.
So anyway.
So you supporting
You exchanged
the
currency
white
with them?
infrastructure
Shit.
by buying they shit.
Got you.
exchanged
He got you a
with the
little
white
bit.
people. Holy shit.
Listen.
Yeah, go
listen,
get
but
incense
wait,
from
wait,
Philly.
wait. So listen, while I'm shopping, right? I'm walking around. Everybody know me. Can I get a pic? Can I get a pic? She's looking like, who the fuck is this dude? Can I get a pic? Can I get a pic? So, right when it's time to pay, she says, who are you? I said, I'm Dr. Umar. You could go on YouTube and just Google me. So she said, no, I need to look this up and look, right?
Right, man.
So she pulls
And
it
you were
up.
still standing there.
But I didn't look like how I looked on the YouTube, right? I said, that's me right there. And she looked, and she said, that's really you. Unbeknownst to me, 3 coons are in the restaurant. 3 motherfucking coon niggas. You feel me, Flip?
We got him. We got him now. That's what they saying.
They did some Queens flip shit. Niggas did some Queens flip shit.
Instead of coming over to greet me, these motherfuckers is on the phone taping me with the bunny. This is what
And upload, put it right to the net. Right to the net. Ruin all your credibility.
Hey, yo, dog.
The white ops was sent to.
Look, the next day, YouTubers went to the Cherry Hill Mall and interviewed her. And God bless her soul, she told the truth.
That's good.
She told the truth.
What,
She said,
that you
yeah,
have-
I asked him who he was
So
because
he was just
everybody was
a
stopping
customer.
him. And he looked it up and he showed me who he was. and that was it.
Dr. Umar, let's just get out the way. When's the last time you danced with a snow bunny?
I never dated a white woman.
You never kissed a white woman.
Never kissed a white
No
woman.
fornication,
Tight
no
hug.
nothing.
Waist
I
to
might have gave
waist.
a hug to a
Waist
white
to
woman.
waist.
If I run into one of the women I went to high school with or college with, I'll give them a hug. I ain't got a problem with that.
No fornication, no nothing.
Never,
You
I've
ain't-
never been with a white woman.
Never
Okay.
flirted.
I respect them though
No
because they're
flirting.
women.
Okay.
No. Listen, when I was in college, there was a white girl I had a crush on. Her name was Beth.
See?
When we went to the
You
Million
remember
Man
Beth
March,
from
first
20-something
Million Man
years ago?
March. Yes.
Beth
She
was
was
bad.
built like a
That
sister,
fat,
fat ass and everything.
that fatty.
I thought Beth was half black because of her build. But anyway, I came back from the Million Man March. We sitting in psychology class. She was a psychology major. She put a card on my desk. I go talk to the teacher. I come back. I see this card on my desk. So I asked all the white kids in the class, like, who put this here? They said, we didn't see it. They covering for Beth. I opened this shit up. This is the day after the Million Man March. And all kind of shit shot out the card. She didn't care in front of white folks and everything. Congratulations on going to the Million Man March, helping your people. Da, 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 da. No, it was cool. We was cool.
It's fine.
But I had to let Beth know. I respect you.
But don't
And
send
you
me no-
attractive. She was not ugly. That girl was nice.
You remember Beth?
Fat ass. Listen. I only date my own.
Question.
Loyalty.
But what
It's
they
not
got to
hate.
do with fucking?
Because that can lead to babies being made. That can go into deeper things. You understand? Sexual intercourse is a matrix into a whole bunch of decisions that can come later and unforeseen consequences.
Gotcha.
If Beth,
Head.
he's
Head.
Okay.
White
no,
head.
No.
all right.
That drains you of your ashe.
They do.
Yeah.
And I share. I share.
We need that for the struggle.
Dr. Umar,
Holy shit.
let's just say Beth was half black and half white. Would you have made a concession in
Oh,
that?
for sure. Because if you are mixed race,
Got
for
it.
us who are Pan-Africanists, we include them as members of the race if they identify with us. You understand me? So if Drake consider himself black, he's my brother. Now, if Drake comes to me on some I'm mixed race, I'm not all black, fuck you, because you're looking for a privilege that you're not gonna get. You understand? If Mariah Carey or Halle Berry say, Dr. Umar, I'm black, yeah, I got a white mom, a white dad, but I consider myself black, they my sisters.
You know
You
you
feel
con-
me?
you know you
So I do
contradicting
not
yourself, right?
discriminate against mixed race Africans. I have dated mixed race women. That's no contradiction.
No, you didn't.
Of course I have.
They got the blood in the veins of the colonizers in them.
You're missing the point. Black DNA is dominant. We are dominant. No matter what we mix in, we come out us. Look at Frederick Douglass.
You are correct.
Who's
What
my
I'm
answer?
tell-
He was raped. His mother was raped. My 5 times great grandmother was raped. You understand? So I got a little bit of white blood in
We
me.
all do.
So then you don't
But I'm
really
not
believe
going
in.
to dismiss or discount another African because you're not responsible for how you come here.
True.
On the slave plantation,
True.
they was raping our women left and
Left
right.
and right.
So you mean to tell me you on a slave plantation and I'm going to say to him, you're a little lighter. Your mama must have got raped by the slave master. You
I
ain't
ain't
my
fucking
brother
with
or
you.
my cousin. That's bullshit.
True.
There's even an argument that the great Nat Turner,
Ain't that
the
where the
greatest
term
revolutionary in American history, might have been the product of a rape. You understand me?
I hear you.
I don't
What'd
blame
you say?
nobody for how they got here. Some of my heroes were Bob Marley was mixed race.
He was.
Yes,
I
he
don't
was.
dismiss. No, we are one people. Some of us are mixed. So the fuck what? In Africa, you got mixed because when they colonized Africa, they was raping the African women. So you got sisters over there, their complexion, they still African.
How come that apply to you and not to him?
What do you mean? What you mean?
How come you are allowed to? Because what is the term? They run around here saying foundational black. What does that mean?
Foundational Black America.
What is that?
What does that mean?
FDA.
They are speaking to,
I never heard of that.
and I don't want to.
FBA. sorry.
I don't like to describe other people's philosophies, especially when I don't agree with them. But
So that's not your philosophy.
no, sir, I'm Pan-Africanism. All African
Clearly.
people are one, and we must rise together. United we stand, divided we fall. I don't believe in tribalism or sectionalism.
What I'm asking is, what if
They are
What if
foundational Black America, just like American descendants of slaves, speaks to those of us who are the descendants of those who were enslaved in this land. They do not seek affiliation with
ADOS?
necessarily with immigrants.
Oh, they don't seek
first generation
That's
Caribbean.
ADOS.
That's ADOS?
Yeah.
ADOS,
Some
FDMG,
form,
they're
yeah.
largely the same
Okay.
in terms of vision. Two different organizations, but the
Vision is the same.
Premise.
the philosophy and the
I never
premise
heard
is
of that.
largely
So
the same.
why I can't get with a white girl that believes in all of this Pan-Africanism shit? Like, for a bad
You know
example,
why?
like the Rachel Dolezal girl.
Oh shit.
She was bad.
Was she
Hey,
mixed
she
race?
was
Rachel,
white.
no,
She
Rachel,
was white,
Rachel
but
Dolezal. She was
fighting for our shit.
full on
she
white.
was
She was on the
head of the
end.
NAACP.
She identified as
You know
black.
But she identified as
Yeah, but what
black.
about the guy, Sean?
Sean King.
Is he black or mixed
Yes,
race?
He
he's
says he's
black.
black.
Yes,
black.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think he's black.
Here's the reason why they can't participate in the struggle.
He's
The
black.
reason why the struggle must be exclusively black, there's psychological reasons for that. Number one, we have been so dependent on white people that we don't think we can make it without them. The reason why I accepted no white money for the FDMG Academy is when that school opens, we got to know we did this ourselves. You understand me?
And you
If
are laying it out for
you
somebody else
understand?
that wanna do it.
If the bank
I know a
helped
bunch of
me do
people that
that,
did.
if Walmart helped me do that, if Joe Biden helped me do that, if the mayor of Wilmington, Delaware helped me do that, it's not a full victory for us. There you go again with another black institution subsidized by who? White folks. So psychologically, we got to learn how we can do it our own. It's like when you learn how to ride a bike as a child. You kept falling, your dad kept getting you up, you kept falling. But remember when you finally rode that motherfucker and you did it on your
Now,
own? There's no
7
pride.
blocks away.
There's
Yeah.
no pride that compares to that. So self-determination is necessary so we can breathe faith back into black people and self-confidence that we can solve our own problems ourselves. It's not about hating.
one of the
I'm not
people
excluding
named-
him from the meeting necessarily because he's white. I'm excluding him from the meeting because we got to know we can do this on our own. Because subconsciously, if he's at the meeting, we are going to subconsciously, because of the slave instinct that was conditioned into us, we're going to start looking to them for solutions.
See, I agree with that. I
But
don't
when the
agree.
meet- but when the meeting
Don't
is-
agree with that, Joe.
I have to
Don't-
agree with
no,
that.
you don't.
I have to
No,
agree
you
with that.
don't.
I do
Because
have
if
to
all
agree
of
with that.
that's not the
Absolute
fucking
truth.
truth.
It
Let
man.
me hear from
If
you.
all of us
We
are in
always
this,
looking for white
Listen.
folks to bail us the fuck
if
out.
we are in
Yes,
this
we
week,
do.
if all of us right now are in this meeting,
NAACP, founded by Caucasians.
I'm talking
Urban
about
League,
the black-
founded by Caucasians.
Look.
Most of your HBCUs,
Yo, dog.
founded by Caucasians.
the black men in this fucking room. If Parks was in this room and Poe was in this room and at this meeting, we not looking to Parks and Poe to bail us the fuck
That's
out.
individual.
No,
Wait,
that is a
collectively as a race.
and collectively, that is a bunch of
And
bullshit.
you are out of your mind because most black people go to a church with a white ass Jesus. They're already dependent. What's wrong with you?
What?
That's a fact.
Most
I was gonna
black
ask-
People were
I
raised
was-
on a white Christ, and when you raised on a white image of your Savior, you will look for white people. to
Dr.
do
So,
the same.
wait.
Stay here.
Hold on.
The Roman Catholic Church that got the pictures of the black Jesus, they depended on black people to save them?
Those pictures of the
I'm
black.
asking you a question.
Those pictures of
Why
the,
do you never
those-
answer my
I'm answering
question?
the
Trying
damn
to
question you
answer.
didn't put in the right context. Those pictures of the white Jesus in the Vatican are in the fucking basement. The only people who see him is the Pope.
So
Only people see him is the
so
Pope.
the pictures of the black men
Are in the fucking basement.
So look, you didn't answer that. You
ahead.
didn't answer my question.
What's the question?
You haven't answered one. The picture that the Pope is looking at of the black Jesus means that the Pope is now dependent upon black people to save him?
Absolutely not, because the Roman Catholic Church played a leading role in the enslavement and colonization of black
That's
folks.
my fucking point.
That's my fucking
That's
point.
my point. So if Parks and Poe are in this room and we are all forward-thinking black people,
You're
I'm
talking
not
about
looking at them for
individual.
bailouts.
Well, if what you say is true, why 95% of all black grassroots organizations funded by white folks? If what you say is true, why are 95% of all black organizations funded by white folks and contain white folks?
I can answer
Since
it.
we're so
I think
independently
I can.
thinking.
I think I can.
Huh?
I think I can.
Answer it.
You started your school in 2014.
Started raising the money.
I mean 2014, pardon me.
Yeah.
When, let me ask you a question. When do you think
We'll be
I'm,
ready?
I'm gonna give you some money too. But when do you think you'll be done? Did you break ground yet?
Well, the schools already existed. We renovated them.
Oh, they were already
yeah,
existing
they were
structures.
previously chartered.
Got you.
Only 10
Okay,
years
got
old.
you.
If all goes well, our grand opening for the community will be 2024. We at the finish line.
Can I
So 10
ask a
years.
question in regards to that school?
If all goes bad, when does it open?
Say that again.
If all goes bad, when does it open?
25.
Damn. We're not thinking like that.
But 25.
Progressive, brother. You must be a revolutionary.
25.
thinker.
It won't be.
The comfortability of
You got me.
speak to the comfortability of you to name and have one of the names attached to the school. Frederick Douglass,
And
descendant,
Marcus Garvey.
right? Frederick Douglass,
Kinsman, not descendant.
Right, well, yeah, Kinsman. Towards the end of his life,
Yes, sir.
he did
He married a bunny.
married a white woman.
Absolutely.
Right.
Complete contradiction.
So,
But he was an old ass man. Go ahead.
You don't believe in love.
No, I do believe in love.
No, you can't.
I believe in revolutionary
You
black love.
told me.
But you
no,
can, but you
can't.
follow that. You follow that's bloodline. Y'all blood. Y'all kin.
Yes, we are.
And you obviously hold them to a high esteem.
Absolutely.
You name
No
you
other
don't-
black man did more for black people than Frederick
Do
Douglass.
you think? Okay, so do you think at some point in his life he realized that he could find that love and cherish?
Bullshit. You know what Frederick Douglass' problem was? I'm gonna give you the psychological analysis, having never met him in the flesh. You know why I think he married that white woman? Well, number one, Anna Murray. Let's not discount the black wife, because the one
His
thing
wife.
I hate
With
when we have
his
the
kids
Frederick
that-
Douglass
100%.
conversation is the black woman he was married to for 50 fucking years, a blue, black, purple, nappy-headed sister
Yeah.
who helped him run away from slavery.
his white
who gave
woman
him 5
at the end of
kids.
his life.
Nobody
Yeah,
talks
yeah.
about her.
So he invented getting a white girl after the black girl.
Stay with me, stay with me, stay with me, stay with me. Don't disrespect the ancestors. Stay with me.
My bad.
See,
I'm sorry.
See,
I'm sorry.
Shut up! Listen, when Anna Murray
Jonathan
Douglas,
Majors at his finest.
when and we got Jonathan Majors.
Please.
I would love to get to
Listen,
that, but
when Anna Murray Douglas died, Frederick went into a deep depression. Remember, he knew her since a child. Rumor has it, and even if the rumor is true, I still don't condone it. Rumor has it that she told the white woman to take care of my husband after I'm gone. You're the only person I trust. That's the rumor, okay? Whether it's true or not is irrelevant. Frederick Douglass was about a decade from death when he married the white woman as an old man. It's still not acceptable. His daughter, Rosetta, my cousin, she scolded him about it. She said, "Father, you cannot do this. You're the leader of our people. How do you go and marry a white woman?" And I'm going to tell you the reason why I think Frederick Douglass did it. Remember, who's the first person to introduce him to literacy? That white woman in Baltimore.
white lady in Baltimore.
You see that? I believe that because he was mixed race himself, the father being white, I believe there was always a love for the white woman that was fashioned in his bosom when that white woman started teaching him how to read in Baltimore. He had a soft spot for him. And the fact that he was 50% Caucasian himself, or should I say his father was Caucasian, I believe he felt he had a right to go white. It's not excuse. No, I don't excuse it. Because guess what? If Frederick Douglass never marries that snow bunny, he would be undisputedly the greatest black leader in American history. Most people will still say he is, like me. But I'm saying if he never committed that sin, it would be unquestioned. Not even Dr. King. Not even Dr. King can compete with Frederick Douglass.
Let me ask you a question. Never mind, yo.
Let me.
Yo, sometimes,
say it.
No, sometimes I
Don't look for no snow bunny bailout because I'm not giving you one. Go ahead.
you know, go ahead.
I'm not giving
Yo,
you
but
one.
wait, but why you
You
think?
look like
but
you
hey,
looking for.
why you think though? Earlier you referred to your romantic partner as a fusion of focus and opportunity.
Correct.
There's no love in that.
Oh, it's very much love.
That is true.
Let me explain something to you.
where's
You're
the
wrong.
love?
Listen.
Tell me.
Listen. When I choose my 2 wives, I'm looking for commitment. I'm looking for loyalty.
Oh.
If those things are there and the personalities are compatible, the love will fucking come.
No, it won't.
Do you realize
That is
that
not
for
true.
one half?
That is not true.
Do you realize that for one half of human history, most marriages were arranged? People married people they didn't even fucking knew, and they grew to love them. I think we exaggerate this European concept of romantic love. And guess what? Half of all divorces in this country, half of all marriages in this country end in divorce. You know why? Because people getting married for love. Fuck love. Give me loyalty and commitment. The love will come.
There you go. I disagree, but that speaks volumes.
This nigga, man.
That speaks volumes.
Listen, the only reason we should be fucking, marrying, dating is for revolutionary purposes. That's it. To birth babies that can fight for African revolution. If you're not choosing that woman for her revolutionary potential so y'all can raise up a family of revolutionaries and contribute to the freedom struggle, then it's useless to even date.
So
what the hell I care if 2 coons get married? That's a fucking disease.
This nigga's crazy. My man.
Jonathan Majors.
Yes, sir. Jonathan Majors, and I'm so sorry this is happening to the brother. He bunny hopped. You know, a lot of black men have that low self-esteem bunny hopping trait.
Yo, let me ask you that.
Okay.
No, hell no.
I didn't hear what you said.
This lends to the white superiority complex that some of y'all have.
And if you date a white woman, you have a white supremacy complex.
No, I don't.
Absolutely.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Let me finish.
You're in denial.
I'm not.
There's no way you found a white woman, my brother, if there's not something in you that considers Caucasian superior to yourself.
You are wrong. Because I don't think no white motherfucker is superior to me.
I want to recommend a book for you. Have you ever heard of Frantz
He loves to
Fanon?
read.
I've read it.
He loves books.
Black skin, white mask.
White mask. I
You
read
read
it.
it?
Yes.
And what did he say about black men who date white women?
I don't agree with him, and he grew up in a different
And
time.
he had a snow bunny.
And I fuck
He
with-
had a bunny.
I fuck with France. I got it right. I'll send it to you today.
Okay.
What I'm telling you is, France Fanon was from yesteryear. France Fanon only
So
lived-
that mean the truth ain't relevant?
No, it means that circumstantial things happened back then that are not happening today.
So then let me ask you a
finish,
question.
yo.
Let me ask you a question.
And he died as a young man.
What the fuck that got to do with the truth of what he
Because
spoke?
the man, when you was 20 years old, you don't think the same way you think at 50?
Not on everything, but on many things I will never change.
Okay,
You understand? Pan-Africanism and Paris
listen
will
to
never
what-
change.
Hold up.
But if
Let's
what you
not-
say
let's
is
not-
true,
I want to go back to my original
and the
point.
Supreme Court outlawed interracial marriage with Loving versus Virginia in 1967, and black men have married white women more than all other men put together as a percentage of the population. How do you explain that shit?
You said what?
Black men marry white women more
Then white men?
than all other men put together as their percentage of the population, excluding Caucasians. Because most people marry in race.
You fucking me up.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So black men
That makes
marry-
sense.
You fucking the white people.
No, black men marry white women more
That makes sense.
than Asians, Arabs, Latinos, East Indians, everybody else put together as a percentage of the
That makes
population. What makes sense?
Mathematically.
black men marry
no,
more?
mathematically it makes sense.
I understand.
Mathematically
Why
it
are
makes
black
sense.
men so addicted to white women at a rate more than any other man in this country?
Can't answer that for you.
I can tell you, low fucking racial self-esteem. I just answered it.
And what I'm telling you is, you are 1,000% wrong, especially when it.
You're in denial, Ish.
I'm not.
You're in
What
denial.
I'm telling you, let me speak. When you say that somebody is dating somebody because they have low self-esteem, you are basically saying that white people are better than we are.
No, I'm saying
Stop.
you believe
It's
they
my
are.
go. It's my go. Right?
I'm saying you
So when
believe.
somebody says, yo, he only fuck with them because he hates himself,
Absolutely.
that means that you think that person thinks that white people are better than we
You
are.
do.
I don't.
You wouldn't have been with him.
You are wrong.
There's more
You
black
are
women
wrong.
on the earth than any other
are-
population.
Yo, dog,
You
are-
can get a black woman
What
from
I'm telling
Brazil.
you is
You
are
can
wrong.
go to Jamaica. You can go to Canada. You can go to the indigenous Africans of Mexico. You can go to the continent. Black women, African women are the largest population. You can get a light skin
Can we just
sister.
speak to Jonathan
You can get
Majors?
a pina colada sister. You can get you a off-white sister. We got black women of every complexion. So if you needed a pale queen, you could have got you a pale African queen. But you
I believe
went Portuguese
that.
for a reason.
I believe that in respect to Jonathan Major. I believe that concept in respect to Jonathan Major.
I don't know him.
That's a damn
I'm
shame what happened
speaking to
Jonathan Major.
the things that we've
That's a
heard
damn
and the
shame.
things that we've seen. We've seen this man go on there and video recorded tape conversation scream about how he's a great man, and he went and told this white woman in comparison,
To act
like
like
Coretta
Coretta Scott King and
to
Betty
act
Sharp.
like Coretta Scott King and Michelle Obama.
He get 1,000
Nigga.
lashes for that bullshit. But go ahead.
You could have just went and did that with a black
black
woman.
Exactly.
And then you try to
Exactly.
fool us with this little relationship you got now with homegirl.
Yeah, let me ask you a
good.
question.
Wait,
I'm asking because I don't know him. I can't. I'm not.
we
judging.
assuming. I mean, we assuming.
So listen, when in the rant that
It
he
ain't
was
about
saying,
individualism. Systemic analysis of populational behavior.
that's not true.
Very true.
That's not true.
There's a whole field called
Know why?
sociology based on it, psychology based on it, criminology based on
But when
it.
it benefits you, you individualize.
When did I do that?
Because I was making assessments, and I said right now in this particular room, if we took Parks and we took Poe and we had to make a decision, stop. Let me answer you.
It's not a
You
large,
wouldn't.
it's not a
leave-
large enough sample size. I'm talking about the community. You're talking about
so
yo,
when
y'all
I
know
make
each other.
so
Y'all
when
know
I,
each other.
so when
You
I,
might know.
True.
You
So
might
when
not
I
know.
make my point, it's individualism. But when you make your point, it's a collective thing that your sociology degrees and your psychology degrees tell you is true.
The whole purpose of a sample is to generalize to the population.
True.
That's the whole purpose.
True.
Of a sample.
So if we take certain samples,
Okay.
then they will prove things wrong.
They possibly can. Not
Yes,
every sample
that's
of
my
behavior
point.
is generalizable
True.
to the larger community.
True indeed.
Go ahead.
It's a scientific theory.
Gotcha.
Hey, yo, you talking to somebody that got a brain, Aki?
I believe
You probably
No,
way
I'm
more
not-
well-read
I'm not
than me.
questioning your intelligence.
Yeah.
Yo,
I'm questioning your choice of a fucking name.
And I think y'all speaking to two different talking points. I think he's speaking to
No,
just.
you're
I'm telling you what I'm hearing. I'm hearing somebody speak about systematically what needs to change just for people. Period. And you're speaking about just the individuality.
Correct.
And the,
Correct.
he makes points based on collectivism. And when I disprove the point, he'll say,
You haven't
yo,
disproven
that's
anything.
individual. I just did with the
You haven't
with the-
disproven
But
it. You have not.
but your examples are you're using individual situations
True.
to try to prove a larger point, and
Absolutely.
you can't do that.
That's not what
Correct.
I'm telling
He's
you
correct.
what I'm telling you is some of these things are case by case basis, right? They're not It's not a big. Yo, dog. I've been helped by
Bunny
white.
hopping is not an epidemic in the black
I
community.
don't know nothing about that. I don't know.
Where do you live at?
Huh?
Who don't see all the black men dating white girls?
I don't know about I don't know what the numbers are, so I can't speak to it. I'm being serious. I'm being genuine.
Okay. Let's go off the
I can't
NFL. Let's go off the NFL.
I can't speak to it.
But I mean, let's take
We can go off
situation-
the Knicks
We can go off
alone.
anything. Yeah.
I don't know.
Them niggas.
Passport bros.
I don't know.
Okay.
I can't speak to
We
it.
don't know. Let's generalize off of what we've seen in media alone.
That's not a
Through
good representation.
NFL,
That's not a
through
good
the
representation.
NBA,
Because
through
you're dealing with
It's
the
a
upper echelon
horrible
of black
representation.
males.
So
Even
that's a
Robert,
horrible
the billionaire, what's his name?
Robert Smith.
Robert Smith.
Isn't he bunny hopping?
Yes.
Might be, I think so.
Yeah, he's a bunny hopper.
Yo, listen,
Michael
that's
Jordan,
a
bunny hopping.
horrible,
Charles Barkley, a bunny
horrible
hopper.
representation. It's
Joel
the same
Embiid just married a
representation that
bunny
we
hopper.
use when they say, "Yo, we only fuck strippers and we only da 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 da." Yo, that's I'm gonna look it up, but we can
You
keep
know what's
the
sad
conversation
about
moving.
those though? The celebrity blacks who bunny hop, they sleep with black women all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I happen to know some celebrities, and they love some black vagina. But when it comes to their pocketbook, in their life, in their heart, they will only give it to a white woman. That is an
And you
insult.
only attribute that to low self-esteem. Nothing else.
There's other factors at play, but that's the main one. Racial inferiority is at the top of the list. You got to remember now, you're talking about black men who historically have been murdered, lynched, and assassinated off of false accusations by white women of rape. Many times the white woman wanted the black penis. And when she got caught, she called it rape.
True indeed.
Nothing has
So we've
hurt
been-
us as a
we've been
population
fucking-
more
Yeah.
as black men than the white woman.
That's true.
How do you turn around and marry into the very population
But this
that
is my only thing
destroyed
with that.
us historically?
If my white partner is 30, my white partner is 40, what if she just don't give a fuck about
she
none of that?
still belongs to the race that rules.
So you holding her accountable for her ancestors?
She benefits from your oppression.
I ask you a question. Are you holding her accountable for her ancestors?
Well, that's why
I'm holding accountable for not doing anything about the unfair benefit
First
she
of all-
received from her ancestors.
First of
Did you
all,
understand me, Flip?
I'm not oppressed.
I'm holding her.
That's number one. I'm not fucking oppressed. Because when you are oppressed, you are now saying that these race of people have the superiority over you to oppress you. Yes,
you're
you
wrong.
Are. You are submitting
You're wrong.
to their superiority.
So let me ask you a question then.
You are submitting to their superiority.
I completely disagree.
We can agree to disagree.
Every revolution was birthed from a population that admitted they were oppressed
Indeed.
and then decided to overthrow it.
True indeed.
So the mere fact that I'm saying I'm oppressed, in no way am I admitting white superiority.
Yes, you
I'm
are.
speaking a truth of fact.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Listen.
You are saying that somebody has the power to oppress you, which means that power, that particular party is the superior thing in that. Any revolution came from a party that was being oppressed.
Who's miseducating our kids in the schools? 93% of all teachers are of what race?
I don't know. You
White.
know the numbers. I would believe that.
Most police are of what race?
I don't know. Again,
Most wardens of American prisons are of what race?
Nah, they white.
Most bank owners are of what race?
White.
Political power is controlled by what race?
White.
So we got to be honest about where we are. We can change it.
True.
I'm not scapegoating white folk for the solution. The
They got a
solution is
400
ours. I'm saying white people are responsible for the problems that we have.
True.
Have you ever heard of the
I agree with you.
Have you
I'm
ever heard
agreeing
of the
with
Kerner Commission?
No.
No.
The Kerner Commission. There's a book that all y'all need to read.
What's the name of it?
Okay, and it's part of the reason Dr. King was murdered.
What's the name of it?
It's called it was the Kerner Commission, the Federal Commission Report on Civil Disorders in America. Let me tell you what happened. In 1967, there was the long red hot summer. Y'all remember this? There was more black race riots. Newark, New Jersey, and Detroit led. Those were the two radical, right? And Mary Baraka. There was race riots in over 100 cities. So Lyndon Baines Johnson put together a commission and said, I need y'all to find out why black folks are going to fuck off. So the commission did this whole study. This is why Dr. King died in April, because guess what? The Kerner Commission report came out. If Dr. King would have had the results from the president's own commission, Dr. King would have been unstoppable when he got
them
them.
against you. Got you.
The Kerner Commission said the problems of the black ghetto were created by white people. This ain't me, Flip. This is the fucking president.
1000%.
The problems in the black community created by white folks.
True indeed.
Maintained by white folks.
True indeed.
Exploited by white folks.
True indeed.
And white folks benefit.
True indeed.
Until the U.S. government addresses that reality, it changes.
And nothing will
else.
change. I agree with that.
White supremacy.
I agree with that.
That's all I'm saying.
Listen, I'm agreeing with you.
Any mature conversation on solutions for the black reality must include white racism and the role that it plays in the creation of our problems.
Indeed.
Listen, our kids are being miseducated.
I agree with that.
We don't control the school system.
Sure.
Our men are being mass incarcerated. We don't control the prisons. Our people are economically impoverished. We don't control the economy. You understand? Every problem we got was introduced from the outside. But here's where we agree. The only person who's going to solve them problems is us.
True.
And we're going to do that without no white money and no white participation.
Listen to this.
And no white women in our fucking bedroom.
That's your opinion. Your bed is your bed, Akeem. My bed is my bed.
Yes, but your bed and what you do in that bed can affect what goes on in the community.
True. So let me ask you a
His
question.
fucking is gonna fuck
Your
me
lineage,
up.
No, it's not.
the
Let me ask you a
benefit
question. Let
of-
me ask
Give you
you
an example.
Stop. Let me ask
Kobe
you.
Bryant.
Let me ask you a question.
Kobe Bryant.
I want to ask you a question.
Rest in
Kobe
peace.
Bryant
Rest in peace
died.
out there.
Vanessa inherited his wealth.
Sure.
And guess what? Is Vanessa Bryant using any of that black man's money to do any good in the black community?
Let me ask you a question.
Absolutely fucking not.
We don't know
Vanessa
that.
Bryant. Listen,
I don't know. It's-
I'm
I know
telling
that.
you.
I know that.
How you know?
Vanessa
You know?
Bryant-
Let me ask you a question.
But wait,
Because she's a public
Can I
figure,
ask you a
and
question?
she just
You
did.
don't know
You
that.
didn't see that
You
initiative.
don't know
I
that.
do know. I do know what
Let
I'm
me ask
telling
you-
you now.
let me ask you a
Vanessa
question.
Bryant just started an initiative with 3 predominantly white colleges, some sort of a sports initiative with Kobe's money and Kobe's name, didn't choose a single HBCU
Let me ask you a question.
with a black man's money. Marvelous Marvin Hagler, he died from taking a COVID shot. Is his white widow using any of Marvelous Marvin Hagler's fortune to help black folks?
You're being unfair.
I'm being unfair how?
No, let me tell you why.
Expecting white women to use
Stop.
black money to help black people?
No.
How is that unfair?
Because the same way you naming these people, we can name mad black wives that got black money from their husbands that did shit to help black people. Well, stop.
big
It's
difference.
my goal. No,
There's
it's
a big
not.
difference.
We own.
And you know what the difference
No,
is?
You're wrong.
You know what
You're
the difference
wrong.
is?
You're wrong. You're wrong. Fuck
If
the-
I marry a white woman, when I die, my wealth goes to the very people who have robbed everything
But
from
hold
my
on, hold
community.
on.
It's not true.
But wasn't the wealth given by white people?
No, my wealth was earned by me.
No, you
and if
earned
I
it.
die
Honest
today,
living is honest living.
my
So
kids
you-
benefit from
And
my
what that
busting
got to
ass.
do, Flip,
change-
is
I'm just asking.
recycling the
So-
money
Are
into
you
the
changing-
black community.
so-
What you doing is holding white people to a standard you're not holding the
No,
blacks
I'm not.
to.
No,
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
fucking
No,
are.
I'm not.
You just said that. Stop.
You are white.
You
You
just-
benefit from black oppression. You inherited the estate of a deceased black male celebrity.
We disagree.
How the hell you ain't gonna do nothing for black people with that black man?
Listen to this. I don't
That's
think
not a different standard.
Look, I don't think all white people benefit from our
All white
oppression.
people
They
benefit.
have white privilege, but I don't think
That
that.
privilege is universal.
No, it is. Look,
Exactly.
what
So
I'm
they all
saying.
benefit if it's universal.
Why most of them poor?
I just told you because of capitalism.
So, which means they not
Capitalism
which-
demands
we back in
poverty.
the circle. So listen.
If Walmart ain't got
Listen to
poor
this.
white folks to work, Walmart never becomes a multi-billion-dollar establishment. If Amazon ain't got a whole bunch of poor white folks to work, Amazon doesn't become one of the richest corporations in the world. There is no capitalism without broke-ass white people.
True.
That is a rule.
Which means that
What?
the white quote is white privilege, but they not benefiting from white oppression. I mean, from
Why
black
are they
oppression.
not?
Because they
I
worse
just
off than
quoted
us.
you a study.
They're worse off than us.
No, they're not worse off than us.
Yes,
That's
they
the absolute
are,
lie.
man.
Listen,
Yes,
I got
they
listen,
are.
listen, I got
Joe, you are wrong.
Listen,
Most white
listen.
people in America are
Listen.
worse off than Joe fucking Budden. In the high 90s.
That's
bullshit.
Why? Because they got a white face?
Bullshit.
one-
Yo, y'all
And let me
sound
tell you
crazy.
where you're messing
That's a
up.
horrible
Let me
message to
tell
send.
you where you're
That is a
messing up.
horrible,
Let me
horrible.
tell you
Joe,
why
you are a
you're messing up.
multi-millionaire that lives in
Let
one of
me
the most
tell you
affluent
why you're
communities
messing
in
up.
the wealthiest state in the
And that
motherfucking
don't mean
country.
shit.
Yes,
You
it
know
does.
why?
You are wrong.
Because when the police pull Joe Budden over, he's still black.
Yup.
And they can take his life justifiably and get away with it
When I-
more than they
yeah.
ever could
When I
with
go
the
in-
brokest ass white
When I
boy
go in the
in
bank,
New
I'm
Jersey.
still white.
That's a
When
damn
I go
fact.
try to buy a house,
That's
I'm
a
still
damn
white.
fact.
I'm
Yo,
still
y'all
We
black.
go through the same
So-
racism any poor black person go through. I got
Yeah.
6 fucking degrees.
It's-
You think that stopped me from experiencing white racism?
Yo, listen, him and I and Corey have this exact debate
Right.
all the time.
Okay,
All
okay,
of the
okay,
time.
okay.
He goes to that. Joe, you make more money, you live in this, you live in it. Yeah, but
Yeah,
that
but those
means
are superficial.
He's like an
absolutely
anomaly.
It
nothing
doesn't speak to
when
who
I'm
controls the
traveling
power in
these
this
circles.
society. Absolutely. Money is not power. Power comes from the group. And we're not organized, so we ain't got none.
Listen,
You got to create the infrastructure.
I'm with you. I'm with you on some of this about the white woman. But Jonathan Majors can't pick the white girl up and try to stuff her back in the truck.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
If a white male does the same thing,
Can't do that.
if a white male picks up the black girl and tries to stuff her back in the car, are we having this conversation?
No.
No.
Thank you.
I can't say
I don't
that.
think so.
white supremacy.
I can't
more
say that.
often than not,
We just saw the
Joe, are we
exact
having this
same trial. We just
are
saw the
we
same
more
trial with Johnny
likely
Depp.
or less likely to have the conversation
Not a
if
black
that's
girl.
a white male and a black
That's my
woman?
point.
It was a white
It
girl.
was a white guy and a white girl.
No, we
Yeah,
do.
well,
No,
so
we
then
see.
it
and
kinda
they went
cancels
to
each
trial.
other out.
But we seen the difference in how he was represented and supported in comparison to him.
Oh, she was villainized as
She was
fuck.
villainized.
And did
The
you-
first time we ever
Her career is
really
done.
seen a white woman be villainized in that situation because of who he was as a white male actor, and everyone adored him.
Their whiteness
We seen the same
canceled
thing
the
happen
whole
with
situation out.
Robert
It
Downey
became
Jr.
a
He was
popularity
forgiven.
contest there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
The white privilege always operates. There is no space that black people and
Actually-
white people do not coexist in where privilege doesn't.
I'm with you. The
Manifest
the
itself.
Jonathan Majors case, probably the trial, is actually a great example of what we was talking about before Ish went to the bathroom. Jonathan Majors, affluent black man, versus this white girl who I'm assuming does not have anywhere near the money or resources that he
Absolutely.
does.
Yeah,
the chick he met on
But
set.
that white is still white.
Yeah.
That white is still
That
white.
white is still
Did
white.
you see what his lawyer said?
Yo,
Jonathan Majors' lawyer said that although it was admitted in court that she assaulted him, the way he responded
Defended himself, yeah.
during the assault is
Was
what got
assault.
him convicted.
Is assault.
How the
Yeah.
fuck
You know
can
what's so
I
cra-
get convicted for how I respond to your assault? Mind you, the prosecutor said they don't have enough evidence to charge her with the crime. So even though they admit she assaulted Jonathan Majors, she's not going to trial for that because they don't have enough evidence, but they do have enough evidence to admit it happened.
And
he responded
also,
to it
and there's also law,
improperly.
and there's also law
What
saying
kind
that
of
he's
shit is
allowed.
that? Absolutely
He's
nuts.
allowed to defend himself. There's a law, just period.
Yes.
You're allowed to defend yourself when there's a act of thievery is being stolen. So if his whole thing was, yo, she was stealing my phone or something like that, he has enough by law right to actually try to obtain his things back, and that was his defense. Which is why you can see in the video he does that.
He
tries
runs
to run-
away.
tries to
He
run
tries
off.
to get away from
So
him.
his story, which is kind of
It
why I'm mad
adds
at
up.
the defense.
It adds up.
They didn't even lean
So
on that
let me ask you a
aspect
question,
of it.
right?
But she was white. And what do we know about white privilege? It trumps the law 100 times over. Michael Vick had his career destroyed because he fought dogs and let them kill each other. But white men kill black people every day and
walk
don't do a
around free.
damn day
Walk
in
around
prison
free.
because the law does not run American society. White power does.
Listen to this. You have black girlfriends, and that same thing held true for your black girlfriends.
What same thing?
That you can't defend yourself. Talk about it earlier.
Well, we don't know.
You just talked about it earlier.
We don't know. I can only speak to how those cases were handled with black sisters and me.
Sure.
I've never been in that situation
On
with,
the
a,
opposite
white, with a
side.
white woman.
Gotcha.
So I can't say.
Gotcha.
And I would also add to that, just to clarify it a little bit, because there is a campaign to destroy black masculinity.
True indeed.
If Joe or I or Flip or any of us find ourselves in that situation with a sister, they will come down on us with
True
the letter
indeed.
of the law,
1000%.
not to protect black women,
True.
but to destroy black
I agree with
masculinity.
that. 1000%. 1000%.
Can we get to the attack on black masculinity?
Yes.